Michael Cole had the opportunity earlier to talk to Thrasher and Mosh about taking a trip from Jersey to Uniondale this Friday night.
We're going to take the parkway down to that $7 bridge, and we're coming to Nassau for one reason and one reason only. The party. Maybe get some more piercings.
So when we get to Nassau, line up, because when we get out of the car, we expect to find a tattoo parlor, and maybe afterwards, well, not maybe, most definitely, we're going to find a club to go party at.
Well, James, do you have any tattoos, any unusual piercings you'd like to share with the WWF New York audience?
I don't believe I'd like to share them with New York or anywhere else. As a matter of fact, Thrasher's still talking like Elmer Fudd after he just got his tongue pierced recently. I don't want to afflict my speech and ability to do my Cornette's commentary for anything.
The Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt, the brothers from North Carolina, challenging Thrasher and Mosh in this tag team action. Of course, Thrasher was referring to the New Jersey Turnpike and the Verrazano Bridge. The what? $7.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. Everything's too expensive in this crummy city, but that's another story.
You know, Mayor Giuliani says he's going to reduce taxes.
He's a politician, and he says he's going to do something. You believe it?
Well, it's election year.
Holy mackerel.
That answer your question?
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe the Headbangers are a better team for having been the WWF Tag Team Champions. They have used more new maneuvers. They've got newfound confidence. They have been really more aggressive than we've ever seen them, but they're in there against a couple of kids that may be now where the Headbangers were a couple of years ago. These Hardy Boys are real comers.
They certainly are. Now, standing combination, as I alluded to earlier, Matt and Jeff are brothers. They're from the state of North Carolina, and certainly no fear as far as putting their own bodies on the line.
Blind tag just in, blind tag behind Matt Hardy. Look at coming and going from Matt Hardy. Look at the teamwork of the Headbangers.
Oh, this crowd really behind Thrasher and Mosh, who are very, very aggressive here on WWF New York.
These Headbangers have mastered the art of the blind tag. That's making the tag when your opponent doesn't know it's been made.
Nice back body drop. One more look here, James, at this very unique tandem offense.
You can see it again. They made the tag behind Matt Hardy's back, drop kick, clothesline, and Matt Hardy was hit 3 ways to Tuesday by the combination of the headbang.
Certainly reminiscent of your old team, the Midnight Express, coming at you from multiple directions.
I was not going to be the one to make the obligatory Midnight Express reference this week.
Well, it didn't hurt the ring post, but it may have separated the left shoulder of Thrasher. And now we'll see if Matt Hardy, who tags in his brother Jeff, we'll see if the Hardy Boys can solve this mystery and put the Headbangers away, which would be, I would assume, a major upset. Look out.
Whoa! Ooh! That used to be Jeff Hardy. He just went flat like a fried egg on the griddle. And the Headbangers once again coming out on top, but you can't underestimate these Hardys. They take a licking and keep on ticking, and ooh, there's Mosh. And he'll just do anything. These guys don't care. I think that's why the people love them. They just don't care.
Well, these Hardy Boys are about to make an abrupt exit here, much like the Yankees did for the baseball playoffs. You know the Yankees got eliminated. You know that.
I wasn't aware of that.
And remember what I'm telling you. The Yankees are, sidewalk slam. The Yankees are not managed by the Big Tuna. There's a lateral press. One, trying to educate you here to the sports afternoon.
I was trying to watch The Simpsons the other day in the middle of a weekday afternoon, and they had a dadgum baseball game on. And right now, whoa!
Oh, super flapjack.
Super flapjack. Call him Sputnik Hardy. He was in orbit.
Just supersize it.
You get a nosebleed up that high. Wonder if he got frequent flyer miles.
Hardy looked like he was leaving LaGuardia there with a bulkhead aisle seat. Look at this. Way up there.
And unfortunately, the oxygen mask did not come down so he could breathe normally. Have we made enough cheesy flight references for one move? These guys are really cooking today.
Watch this offense here. More great teamwork by Thrasher and Mosh. They've never looked better than we're seeing right here. Lateral press. And I'll tell you one thing. Thrasher and Mosh know what it's like to be at the top of the tag team mountain here in the WWF. They will be there again, is my prediction.
And JR, I don't mean to say, I told you so, but I told you so. You just said the Headbangers have never looked better. I said a couple of weeks ago, when they were still the WWF Tag Team Champions, they'd be a better team for holding those belts, even if they lost them, and they are.
That from the Kentucky Colonel Colonel James E. Cornett, who will share his feelings toward New York Post columnist Bill Muchnick in this broadcast.
It's Muchnick, actually, just like the mush that was just made out of Jeff Hardy's face by that reverse double Russian leg sweep.
You know, I don't really care what Bill Muchnick thinks of wrestling. It's his prerogative, but when he lumps all the fans into one kettle of fish, shall we say, and makes insulting remarks about wrestling fans, I think he's gone a little bit too far, and Mr. Cornett will expound on that. Can the headbangers even make a mistake?
They have been flawless. I give them a 10. We're talking Nadia Comaneci here.
Who?
We're talking Olga Corbett. We're talking Kathy Rigby.
You're dating yourself. Oh, my.
Somebody's got to, and they got it.
How do you like the headbangers? And how do you like the stage dive? Thrasher goes on their way to the Nassau Coliseum this Friday night. And what a night it's going to be. But ladies and gentlemen, right here on
So the game of strip poker finally ended by a man that really is a wild card right now, Jim.
Well, nobody knows where Owen Hart comes from or where he goes back to. He's not entering the locker room area. He is just basically stalking Shawn Michaels.
Matt and Jeff Hardy will do battle with Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon here in tag team action. Certainly we'll try to find out more about the situation regarding Owen Hart and his pursuit of Shawn Michaels. Will it continue this Monday on Raw? We know that Shawn Michaels and Triple H, D-Generation X, will be in tag team action, Jim, against Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom.
And what a tag team match that's going to be. And speaking of pursuit, Ken Shamrock still in pursuit of the WWF title. He's announced he's going to be the first man to enter the 1998 Royal Rumble to try to go through 29 other guys to get a title shot.
Shamrock was absolutely irate after that contest, but Ken, I'm sure, will be firmly in the corner of his brother Frank Shamrock, who goes after the UFC middleweight title, folks, at the Ultimate Japan pay-per-view from Yokohama, Japan on December 21st. He'll be battling Kevin Jackson, and we certainly want to wish Frank Shamrock the best of luck. That pay-per-view event gets underway at 8 p.m. on the 21st.
These Hardy Boys, they will take any kind of risk. They'll pay any price to... What a springboard!
Oh, how horrible!
He went for the springboard moonsault and the rope went right out from under his feet. Take a look at it again and listen.
That's why they call it high risk.
Oh, the sickening thud. The back of Jeff Hardy's head. And right now, he doesn't know where he is. He's taking his time, but he don't know where.
Well, it would appear to be academic. I'm assuring Phil LaFon will just cover Jeff, and that'll be the end of this matchup.
But no, he's going to pick him up. And how much else? What other punishment can he possibly give him?
This will do it, too, and no, sir.
Jeff with a weak kick, but a kick nonetheless. Like I said, these kids are pure guts. They're not the biggest. They're not the strongest. They have incredible ability. But more than that, they've just got guts.
Ooh, face first to the mat. LaFon, a move he made famous over in Japan, hooks the leg, two, and Mideon to make the save. I'm wondering maybe, Jim, if discretion the better part of valor, should have let that 3 count just happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, a guy's got to have compassion for his brother, but his brother's still fighting.
I don't believe this. No! Bulldog, desperation move. Jeff Hardy needs to make a tag.
He desperately needs a tag to his brother Matt, because he has really been wounded. Furnas and LaFon have a killer instinct now, unlike what they had when they first came here.
Tag made. Here we go. Matt Hardy in. Couple of clotheslines. Furnas and LaFon on the receiving end. These Hardy boys have guts.
Matt Hardy now with a slam, and he's going, it looks like he's going to go for a high-risk move.
Springboard moonsault.
Yes.
Nailed it. Cover. 2. No, sir.
LaFon still has too much. Furnas and LaFon back from their auto accident and better than ever.
These young men from North Carolina, they don't know the meaning of the word quit. Snap suplex, and now another high-risk maneuver.
Inverted splash. Jeff Hardy right back on the horse.
Legal man. 2. And Doug Furnas in to break up the count.
These guys are going after it. What a match.
Jeff now. Oh, my! Go!
Oh, my God!
Up into the lights. Savant kick.
Clothesline.
DDT. Hook the leg. 2, and that is it.
trying to have fun, folks, just like we do every week here on WWF New York with my sidekick, James E. Buddy Cornette.
Hey, that's the president's dog's name. I originally thought the president's dog was named Hillary.
Easy. Well, here comes Kurrgan and his leader, the Jackal, and earlier today, the Jackal gave us a demonstration of just how powerful Kurrgan's grip is.
I'd like to somehow explain to you that his hands have a bone-crunching power, and I wish that there was some way that I could demonstrate this power to you. But I'm not quite sure exactly how I would go about doing that. I know that many of you, besides being intellectually impaired, are also visually impaired.
You see that thing squirt?
I saw it.
Nice.
A powerhouse. He's a dangerous man. I wonder if Jackal ever did a residency at Bellevue.
Well, he's a very benevolent spiritual guru, a philosophical leader. He's coming this way.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, boy. This is never boring, I'll tell you that. Hardys are in trouble.
So apparently we're going to be joined by the Jackal here, ladies and gentlemen. Matt and Jeff Hardy. 2 men against 1. 2 men competing against 1 man. Kurrgan, the interrogator.
How do you like my new man, JR? I promised you a surprise. I promised you a revolution, and you're witnessing it tonight.
What is the significance of the name Kurrgan?
That's just his real name. You like realism? There it is. That's what he is. That's who he is.
Oh my God!
Can you believe that?
Lambs to the slaughter, gentlemen.
Right off the top rope, Matt and Jeff Hardy, they are brothers, and they may be
they're closer than they imagined they would be at the beginning of this match. And I got to ask you, Jackal, we've heard all about the power of his grip, the Kurrgan's grip, the claw hold that he's been using. How did you develop that?
This man is a genetic mutation. He's a freak of nature, and I've simply taken advantage of that. As you see him glancing down at me, he lives for my approval.
Where did you find this man?
Where did I find him? I found him in Madison Square Garden, walking around hunched over so as not to offend anybody. Look at that. Have you ever seen that before, Jim Cornette?
I've never seen 1 man clothesline 2 men with the same arm.
When I met him in Madison Square Garden, Jim Ross, he was walking around with his head down, trying to look about 6'6" so as not to offend anybody. What I did was made him into what he is, which is a 7-foot monster.
With that huge hand.
Wait a minute, look, there's that claw.
There's the claw indeed.
Not yet. It's not time yet.
Oh, my God! Look at that! He threw him away like a rag doll.
Tremendous power display by Kurrgan on Jeff Hardy, now on Matt Hardy. I tell you what, Kurrgan certainly can be one of the odds-on favorites to win the 1998 Royal Rumble.
Look at the size of his hand. Yes, now is very fine.
And he looks over at you for a proof.
Oh, God!
A claw slam.
That just amazes me that he can grip a man's head like a soccer ball.
All right, well enough.
Just remember, I never wanted the violence. You brought it on.
He never wanted the violence, JR. You brought it on. But I'll tell you what, Kurrgan has palmed Matt Hardy's head like Meadowlark Lemon palming a basketball.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is a very dangerous maneuver. Look at that man is programmed to injure, to inflict pain. Hey, ref, you can reverse this decision.
I think he's more concerned with getting Kurrgan off Matt Hardy while he still can.
Right, Recon and Sniper didn't have any success there. Come on.
They didn't look like they were trying that hard either. I don't think they want to cross this big guy.
Look at this maniac.
Yeah, peace to you.
What is going on here? Break the hold.
Ooh! He slapped this big guy right across the face.
Oh, what a hallmark moment here at the holidays. Oh, what?
Boy, would you love to. I'm going to turn down the invite to their Christmas party. I bet they show the Texas Chainsaw Massacre like it's a wonderful life.
Kurrgan, the interrogator, has just annihilated 2 men, and you got to wonder just exactly how that man, the Jackal, is programming that 7-foot monster. Folks, last week on Raw, The Rock gave Stone Cold Steve Austin an ultimate.
This scheduled with a 20-minute time limit in the ring at a combined weight of 429 pounds, 2 sets
here on Shotgun Saturday Night.
Their opponents from Kentwood, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 424 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Well, Michael, last week we saw too much adding insult to injury by punishing their opponents after the bell when the Hardy Boys came out to even the odds a little bit. The Hardys given too much a taste of their own medicine, and that's what prompted this tag team matchup here tonight on Shotgun Saturday Night. Let's see who's the best team, the Hardy Boys or Too Much.
Well, you can't say Too Much didn't deserve it last week.
Yes, I can.
Extracurricular activity.
Yes, I can. Too Much didn't deserve it. They were sending out a message. They were engaging in some psychological warfare, and the Hardy Boys broke up their party.
This should be an entertaining matchup. Too Much against the Hardy Boys, and there goes Matt Hardy through the second rope. And here's the double team now on Jeff Hardy. Whips him into the rope now. Look at this. Great double team action. Double backbreaker by Too Sexy and Too Hot.
And they may be too much for the Hardy Boys. This is going to be high impact. It's going to be fast paced. And it's going to be a lot of high risk offense in this one.
Jeff Hardy ducks underneath that time. Look at that off the top rope. Double cross body into a cover, but a kick out. Jeff Hardy now. Hurricane Rana. Taylor backed in the rope now by Matt. There's a big right hand.
Wait a minute, what are they setting up here?
What a maneuver by the Hardy Boys. Folks, don't forget, Raw is War live Monday night from Nassau Coliseum. It is going to be great because Mr. McMahon has ordered an intercontinental tournament. We have no idea how many participants will be involved. Do you have any idea who's going to be involved?
I don't know who's going to be involved. Don't know how many. All I know is it'll be a one-night tournament and a new intercontinental champion. Watch it.
Wow! Sunset flip into a powerbomb. Nice maneuver.
A new Intercontinental Champion will be crowned Monday on Raw is War. Look at this. You know, we saw Steven Revel earlier savoring extractions. Well, I'll tell you what, Too Much are extraction savorers from way back. And take a look at that impact on the back of Jeff Hardy's head. He's 20 years old. He's had 14 concussions already.
Also on Raw this coming Monday night from Nassau Coliseum, a former Intercontinental Champion in the house, the return of Goldust.
And Val Venus is going to have some serious problems if Goldust is anything like we've seen him in the past. When he returns, he's coming back after his woman and after his honor back from Val Venus.
Yeah, speaking of serious problems, Mr. McMahon could be having some serious problems. He's invited Stone Cold to Nassau.
Well, I think Steve Austin may have some problems because Mr. McMahon wouldn't invite Stone Cold Steve Austin, the master of the high colonic, to Raw unless he knew what he was doing.
Jeff Hardy off the ropes now. Scott Taylor telegraphed this. Look at this move now by Jeff Hardy, but a counter by Scott Taylor.
They're blocking and re-blocking. And
look at this.
Oh!
What a suplex by Too Hot.
And more than the impact, Taylor had to wrench Jeff Hardy's neck there. These Hardys, they have really been on a roll since just a few weeks ago, coming full-time to the World Wrestling Federation, won a tag team victory over Kai and Tai, but Too Much is just a little too sneaky.
Christopher now on the second rope, and oh my, drop kick from behind. You were talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin before. Stone Cold will be in action tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat, 7 o'clock, 6 Central on the USA Network. Stone Cold against D'Lo Brown.
And on the same program, Michael, Road Dogg against Jeff Jarrett.
Oh,
what a matchup and what a power bomb. Going to see if Road Dogg can get a little revenge for his former running mate.
And here's the cover by Christopher and a kick out. What a Sunday night, though. Watch Sunday Night Heat on USA, and immediately following Sunday Night Heat, Sable will be on Pacific Blue, so check it out.
And speaking of checking things out, let's check out this double feature again. Watch the pressure on the neck. He turned the man upside down by his neck and dropped him face first. And then Brian Christopher goes in, hooks him with the power bomb, and Jeff Hardy goes down. Talk about Sable on Pacific Blue. I wonder if she uses that Stravinsky method of acting.
What?
The Stravinsky method.
What is that?
Oh, I can't tell you unless you've taken the classes.
Came up into a moonwalk that time by Too Hot. Now a little bit of hugging going on in the corner. Say what you want about these guys. They're a tremendous tag team.
They're over there in the corner savoring their extractions.
They're drinking orange juice too?
Absolutely. Every morning.
Scott Taylor in control of Jeff Hardy, who needs to make a tag here. And here is what Taylor calls the Too Hot drop. It's a version of a pump handle slam. Oh. Nice maneuver. And look at this. A little too much showboating out of this team.
Well, they haven't showboated as much as they usually do though, Michael, in this match. And I think that's a tribute to the fact that they're taking the Hardys seriously as competition. If the Hardys upset too much, it would really be it'd be bad for Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor.
Christopher's second rope. Jeff Hardy moves out of the way, knees first into the mat.
And it looks like maybe that the Hardys are just going to pull off that upset. Here comes Matt.
Matt Hardy now with a big right hand to Christopher. Ooh, and another one to Taylor. These Hardy boys, a real testament to hard work.
They're from North Carolina, and they spend so much time in the air, you'd think they were the Wright brothers from Kitty Hawk.
Double headbutt. Too much in La La Land.
Watch out, Christopher.
That's what makes the Hardy boys so dangerous, that double team. They've worked together for so long.
They've known each other all their lives.
Well, they're brothers, idiot. And look at this, Jeff Hardy off the top rope.
Can you believe it? Head first into Brian Christopher.
Look out.
But here comes Scott Taylor.
Taylor on the apron now. Hardy doesn't see him. Wow.
Cannonball into the pool.
But Matt Hardy climbing the ropes, top rope, moonsault. Moonsault off the top rope.
He made the spare.
But Matt Hardy quickly to his feet. And again, the Hardy boys have the advantage.
Well, Brian Christopher's down on the floor and both Hardys up. Matt limping a little bit, but Scott Taylor's in there all by his lonesome. And could this be that tremendous double top rope move that we've seen the Hardys win so many matches with here lately?
And here it is. Matt in one corner, Jeff in the other. Look at this. Wow. Hook of the leg. This one is over.
No.
Christopher, though, hit referee Jack Doe.
Christopher hammered the referee.
And Doe's going to call for the bell. Too much is going to be disqualified.
Boy, talk about snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
As a result of a disqualification, the Hardy Boys!
The Hardy Boys pick up the win, and look at this move.
A disqualification, but after the double top rope leg drop splash, Brian Christopher hammers the referee and gets a key to it, Michael.
Hardy Boys win by disqualification. Too much doesn't like it, folks. More Shotgun Saturday Night coming up.
Judgment Day is this Sunday. Will it be D-Day for Stone Cold Steve Austin? Welcome everyone to Shotgun, the Headbangers against the Hardy Boys. Tag team action to kick us off. What an hour we have in store.
And take a look at the Headbangers. Insane Clown Posse jerseys. I would imagine that those probably come up missing from the Insane Clown Posse's locker room, the Great Mosh and the Great Thrasher.
Obviously the Headbangers trying to mock the Insane Clown Posse, but Bruce Pritchard, we are literally hours away from Judgment Day this Sunday night on pay-per-view. The question in my mind is, will Stone Cold Steve Austin commit the ultimate act of defiance?
Well, you know, Kevin, Mr. McMahon has made a lot of guarantees in the past. And the question is, my mind is this Sunday night, will Stone Cold Steve Austin force Mr. McMahon to make good on his guarantee this time?
And certainly that guarantee directly affects Stone Cold Steve Austin's future, Bruce.
It's pretty simple. Austin must humble himself this Sunday night and raise the hand of a new WWF champion or be fired on the spot.
Matt Hardy starting off against Mosh. Mosh misses with the clothesline, tries to hip toss. Great counter by Matt Hardy. Rolls him up. 2 count. Boy, these Hardy boys have started off very quickly on their WWF careers. Mosh misses in the corner. Matt Hardy going up top.
Watch this.
Cross body. 1, 2 only. And now, wait a minute. We take a look. Up the ramp. You hear the noise.
Here they come.
Looks like they want their stolen inventory back. Insane Clown Posse's here. We'll see the oddities in action later on.
Oh, looks to me like Insane Clown Posse wants to see some action right now with the Headbangers.
Little payback for a hellacious beating that they took a couple of weeks ago at the hands of the Headbangers.
Or they could be looking for those stolen jerseys.
Oh, yeah. They get about 40 bucks a piece for those things. But talk about the Headbangers. They haven't endeared themselves to the oddities, the Insane Clown Posse, and, of course, most recently, the New Age Outlaws.
This past Monday night on Raw, Mosh and Thrasher coming down and nailing the New Age Outlaws.
Wow! Look at that. Incredible maneuver. Backflip over the top is Jeff off the tag, and Mosh able to kick out at 2.
And you see the oddities leaving, but the New Age Outlaws, in particular Road Dogg, taking the brunt of a boombox to the top of the head.
And certainly the Headbangers looking for respect and looking for the WWF Tag Team titles. They'll have their opportunity against the New Age Outlaws at Judgment Day. Blind tag, and Thrasher comes in. Judgment Day on pay-per-view, folks. 5 title matches in all. That is going to be a special night.
We also have a new Intercontinental Champion in one Ken Shamrock.
And Shamrock getting right into the fray, defending that title, battling Mankind. That's going to be a very interesting title matchup. Oh, Thrasher misses in the corner.
Shamrock, of course, winning the Intercontinental title tournament this past Monday on Raw, defeating 3 competitors in one night.
Tag made. Jeff is now in. Beautiful Hurricane Rana. Thrasher on the receiving end. Certainly we saw a mean streak in Ken Shamrock like we've never seen before. Reversal, the Irish whipping. Oh, wait a minute. Now Mosh pulls down the top rope and Jeff Hardy flies out to the floor. And look at Mosh. Oh, man. But certainly Triple H was the first to feel Mr. McMahon's wrath. That's going to continue when he has to go to Heat Live this Sunday right before Judgment Day and present the Intercontinental title to Ken Shamrock, the new champion.
I believe it's Mr. McMahon's way of humbling Triple H. Sunday night live on Heat. Oh, wow.
Tilt-a-roll slam. Do you think it's a message he's sending to Stone Cold? Show you how to humble yourself, Austin, before you have to do it in the WWF Championship match later that night?
Or maybe will Austin be there live on Heat because all the competitors on Judgment Day will be there live on Heat Sunday.
7/6 Central on USA, and then, of course, flip on over to Judgment Day on pay-per-view immediately following Sunday Night Heat. Jeff Hardy right now is in a world of hurt. Mosh and Thrasher with some effective double teaming. Executing a beautiful power slam, center of the ring, hooks the leg, 2 count only. These Hardys are so resilient.
Without a doubt, the Hardys are a very tough combination.
Mosh now firing Jeff across, clubbing clothesline. Certainly the Headbangers looking to send out an early message to the New Age Outlaws.
I think that message was sent last Monday night.
Well, it certainly was. It's a battle for respect. They want the tag team titles back, and they want to be thought in the upper echelon of the tag team ranks. If they win at Judgment Day this Sunday on pay-per-view, they will be at the top. They'll be the WWF Tag Team Champions.
Well, the Headbangers certainly left their mark, and they left a scar on the top of Road Dogg's head Monday night.
Jeff ducked a clothesline, and then both men clotheslining the other. He and Thrasher both down. I think it's vital that both men make a tag, especially for Jeff Hardy, who's taken a lot of punishment. Thrasher tags in Mosh. And Jeff makes the tag with Matt, and here we go. Let's see if the Hardy Boys can come back now a little bit. Matt really laying those right hands in.
All 4 men in the ring.
And certainly a loss now by the Headbangers would not do their claim for respect any help at all. Meeting of the minds in the center of the ring. Mosh and Thrasher now. Double drop kick. Hardy Boys pulled the upset over Kai and Tai a couple of weeks ago. This would be a huge upset. Now they've isolated on Mosh. Double teaming from the Hardy Boys. Center of the ring. Oh! Face first. And now it looks like the Hardy Boys going up to alternate corners.
And we've seen this before, Kevin. The coup de grace.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh! Thrasher just launched Jeff Hardy all the way down to the floor, some 8 feet.
And now Matt and Mosh in the ring, one-on-one.
Fire to call. Thrasher with a boot to the back of Matt Hardy's head. The referee did not see that maneuver.
Thrasher up to the top. Oh, what a leg drop.
Stage dive off the top. 3 count is told. The Headbangers victorious.
Here are your winners, the Headbangers.
Well, the Headbangers in a hard-fought victory over the Hardy Boys. Well, let's see.
Take a look at Jeff Hardy. All the way from the top rope down to that concrete floor. And there you see Thrasher with the kick in the back of the head. And now the stage dive for the 1-2-3.
Headbangers against the New Age Outlaws, one of 5 title matches. Judgment Day this Sunday. Let's go to Doc Hendricks.
But the following tag team contest is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. In the ring from Cameron, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 426 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys set to take on a real test here in the form of the Legion of Doom. Tag team action on Shotgun. Despite all of their problems, listen to the response for LOD.
At a combined weight of 558 pounds, Hart and from the Legion of
surprised it says LOD here. I assumed it was going to be Animal and Draws. They are the first team. Hawk is the alternate. After Hawk's bout of personal problems recently, I'm glad to see he's getting an opportunity to compete with Draws, in spite of the fact that Hawk and Draws have been having some little personal problems, we understand, behind the scenes. Oh, look out! Hawk and Draws have not exactly gotten along. There's a lot of bitter feelings, I think, on both sides, but they're starting off very quickly against Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. Draws in there, takes down Jeff with a big shoulder block.
And Draws certainly has made himself a very formidable member of LOD.
Draws now head of steam, big back elbow. Of course, problems between Hawk and Draws, I think, took center stage this past Monday on Raw. A lot of people feel, oh, look out. Draws was cost a win over The Rock.
You know, Kevin, you talked about bitter feelings earlier. Can you imagine the bitter feelings that are going on in the McMahon family right now?
We will show you what transpired between father and son. Perhaps the demise of the McMahon family, folks, coming up next. Matt Hardy off the tag. Beautiful drop off the second rope and just a 2 count.
And then what about the magnitude of the announcement that Mr. Vince McMahon is going to make live this Monday night on Raw?
Do you think that Vince McMahon, as is being reported, is going to retire?
I think that Mr. McMahon will not retire until he's dead.
Well, the word that
Even then, I wonder.
The word that I get is that it's not the same Mr. McMahon following what happened this past week. And now, look, the Hardys are going to the top. They're going to end things right here. Leg drop, crossbody. This one's over. 2 and wow! Draws kicked out. The Hardys have put everyone away with this incredible maneuver.
I don't know. Could the announcement be that Mr. McMahon is going to fire his own son, Shane?
Is he able to do that? Isn't Shane an officer in the company? He's a stockholder.
Stockholders can be fired.
Look at Hawk. Press slam on both Hardys. The turmoil inside the McMahon family. It's unbelievable that all of this took center stage this past Monday. And folks, we will show you what happened coming up in just a few moments. Shane McMahon signed Stone Cold Steve Austin to a new contract. Powerbomb. 2 and 3. 3 count was told.
I think there was a little miscommunication there. Hawk was going up to the top. It looked like the Doomsday device. But Draws took it home with the Tiger Bomb.
Well, yeah, you got to give Draws the benefit of the doubt there. May not know all the plays in the playbook.
But LOD won the match.
We're back on Shotgun. The Hardy Boys set to take on Faarooq and Bradshaw in tag team action. And we first saw Faarooq and Bradshaw as a team this past Sunday on Heat. Absolutely brutal in their attack on DOA. And Tom, I'm telling you, there's something that's just not quite right in the look of Bradshaw and Faarooq.
May not look quite right, but they're walking to the ring with purpose right now, and I think the Hardy Boys have a look in their eye of not quite sure what they're going to do.
Can you say intimidated? I don't think I've ever seen Faarooq and Bradshaw in better shape physically. Absolutely chiseled.
Well, I've got to wonder about their mental state right now.
Got to wonder about the mental state of Hawk. What drove him, folks, to the point of wanting to commit suicide last week on Raw. I mean, the emotional toll of watching a team like the Road Warriors, like the Legion of Doom, go down in flames as of late. And I know it was troubling to Hawk, but to get to that point...
Well, I think the troubles go far beyond just the breaking up of a tag team like the Legion of Doom. I think it's more personal. I think there's a lot of things we don't quite know about going on behind the scenes with Draws and Animal and Hawk.
Well, the good news is, folks, that Hawk will recover off the critical list, but we will hear from Animal and Draws this Sunday on Heat. And I'll be very anxious to hear what Hawk's best friend for over 20 years will say this Sunday. Jackal is on the stage looking down at this tag team match. Hardy Boys now, head of steam, crashing into Faarooq, who was brutally beating Matt Hardy. And now fired across, caught, waistlock, spine buster. Man, absolutely drove Jeff Hardy into the canvas. And the tag is made. Here comes Bradshaw into the ring, stepping over the top rope. It's a little different. I don't see the hook 'em horns anymore. Oh, boy.
No, but he sure is in the ring with purpose, and Jackal walking down the ringside. We've seen him in the locker room talking to different superstars, and I just wonder, I've got to wonder, what is the connection with Jackal coming out during Faarooq and Bradshaw's match?
Bradshaw absolutely brutalizing Jeff Hardy in the corner. Irish whip across.
Oh, man.
Man, oh man. Talk about a brutal beating. How about what Stone Cold Steve Austin suffered at the hands of The Undertaker this past Monday on Raw, Tom?
Well, we saw The Undertaker come in the ring at the end of the championship match with The Rock and Stone Cold and laid Stone Cold out with that shovel.
Was it Stone Cold Steve Austin's last chance at the WWF Championship? Did The Undertaker cost the Rattlesnake in his final opportunity at the gold? We'll show you what happened a little later on here in the hour. Faarooq is back in, but the beating has not lessened. I mean, I'm thinking maybe referee Earl Hebner should consider stopping this contest. Wow. It's almost as if Jeff Hardy is walking unconscious right now.
Faarooq with a new purpose, it seems like, teaming with Bradshaw.
What are those markings on their chests?
Not quite sure.
And on their tights. Well, now Jeff Hardy
didn't even phase it.
Wow. Bradshaw just staring down at Jeff Hardy like some kind of piece of meat or something. Man. And now, scooping a slam. Bradshaw, head of steam. Jackal is still down at the apron. Close to the ring, and now the tag is made, thankfully. Matt Hardy off the top body.
Man.
Right into the awaiting arms of Bradshaw. Fall-away slam.
Jackal looks pleased with what's going on in the ring right now.
I know that Jackal had conversation with both Faarooq and Bradshaw recently. You said that, Tom. Power slam.
But you know, I look in the eyes of Faarooq right now, and it's almost like they're glassy.
Like there is no expression in those eyes. And now off the tag, Bradshaw is in. Power bomb. Wait a minute. Oh, wow. Both Faarooq and Bradshaw. The power bomb. This one finally is over. Oh, this is tough to watch. Oh, no. And now
young Jeff Hardy taking a ride as well. The Jackal seems to enjoy this.
Barely. It's almost as if he's overcome with laughter.
Well, whatever's going on with Bradshaw and Faarooq, it certainly seems to be working.
And while Bradshaw and Faarooq show virtually no emotion, a man that is just filled with emotions, mostly sadness, is Mankind. We'll hear from him this Sunday on Heat. And another emotion, anger. Stone Cold Steve Austin, how about that?
The Rattlesnake is hot, and I would hate to be in his way when he wants to strike out and fight The Undertaker.
Got a feeling we'll hear more about that on Sunday Night Heat. But folks, still to come here on...
Back on Shotgun Saturday Night. Going to be a good one. Tag team action.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from Jarrett, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 429 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
If you think this has been hot here on Shotgun Saturday Night, wait until tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat, 7 o'clock Central on USA. The Big Boss Man meets Kane.
Boy, that is going to be a battle of heavy hitters. And look at this, Reno, Riggins, and Stephen Dunn. The Tennessee Volunteers not wanting to wait until the bell rings. They're going to take it to the Hardy Boys straight off the bat.
And you know, Jim, if it wasn't for Kane running interference this past week on Raw, Stone Cold may have been embalmed alive. But I can tell you this, Stone Cold will be at Heat tomorrow night in Philadelphia. What a maneuver, despite the lingering effects of that concussion.
Double monkey flip by the Hardy Boys, and they have come out from under this. And Riggins and Dunn, tremendous team, but they are, they're on the recoil. Regroup, retreat, start over.
And speaking of regrouping, Stone Cold will do just that. Sunday Night Heat tomorrow night in Philadelphia. Nothing can keep Stone Cold away from Heat. And he has a score to settle come rock bottom against The Undertaker in the Buried Alive match.
Only the second Buried Alive match in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. It's going to be Stone Cold and The Undertaker. And look at the teamwork of Matt and Jeff Hardy. Matt coming in with the elbow.
There's the cover and a kick out after two. And the Buried Alive match, extremely unique.
Well, that's putting it mildly, Michael, because the match doesn't even take place in a ring. They'll start out in a ring, but there is a burial mound erected in the back of the arena. There is a grave that's already dug. And for anyone to win the match, wait a minute.
Cover by Jeff, hooks the leg and a kick out.
For a man to win the match, he must take his opponent from the ring to the burial mound, throw him in the grave, and cover him up with dirt. He has to bury him alive.
Jeff Hardy whipped into the corner. Oh, clothesline. The Undertaker experienced, he was involved in the first ever Buried Alive match over 2 years ago against Mankind. But there's so much at stake for Austin, though. He needs to win that match, Jim, in order to qualify for the Royal Rumble.
Well, what a tremendous match that first Buried Alive match was. Of course, anything involving Mankind and The Undertaker, tremendous in itself. But, you got to think that this one may even have more importance, have more big stakes. Could be even wilder.
And Jeff gets the shoulder up. Can you imagine how awful it would be to be buried alive?
I got claustrophobia. I don't even want to think about that. You know, and take, by the way, the Hardys here, you know, got to say it. These guys, tremendous underdogs. They're always ready to fight you, but they take a lot of punishment in their matches. And Riggins and Dunn, an accomplished team, as I said, they may score an upset here on this one if the Hardys are not careful.
Mankind looking for the huge upset at rock bottom. Mankind will meet The Rock, the corporate champion for the WWF Championship, and the odds have got to be stacked against Mankind. I mean, at rock bottom, you know that everybody from the corporate team is going to do what they can to ensure that The Rock doesn't lose the championship. Can Mankind overcome those odds?
Oh, you know, he's going to have the commissioner ready. He's going to have the enforcer, the bodyguard. He's going to have everybody that is involved with Team Corporate is going to be trying to make sure that The Rock retains that WWF Championship, and Jeff Hardy has got the chance to make a tag to his brother Matt that he so desperately needs, and Dunn is in for his team.
Jeff Hardy's not going to get to Matt. Yes, he does. Between the legs, and here comes Matt Hardy. Big right hand to Dunn.
Boy, the people were waiting to see Matt Hardy come in. You can hear the response. And Reno, Riggins, and Stephen Dunn are flying every which way for Matt Hardy.
And now all four men in the ring. Matt Hardy backing up Dunn. Jeff now. Here we go. Reversal. Oh! Good night, Hardy boys.
Train wreck.
And Matt Hardy tossed out of the ring. Riggins after him, and Dunn now. Keep in mind, Jeff Hardy, very little rest after making the tag. He's taken a tremendous amount of punishment in this matchup.
The Tennessee Volunteers with a chance to make an upset, but Riggins with a miscalculation. Where's Matt going?
Matt Hardy is the legal man. And here's the cover. It's over. Matt Hardy was still the legal man and picked up the victory.
Winners, the Hardy Boys.
Matt and Jeff Hardy, these two kids from North Carolina, they have pulled another one out of the fire. From the jaws of defeat to the thrill of victory, Michael, for the Hardy Boys. Faith and hope is what gets them through.
Stick around. Shotgun Saturday Night's coming back.
In the Royal Rumble, and you know who the first two are. We're going to see later on in this program what Shawn Michaels did last Monday, namely bump Vince McMahon up to number 2. So it's going to be Austin and McMahon, number 1 and number 2 in the Rumble.
The owner of the World Wrestling Federation said he wanted to be number 2 a few weeks ago, so his little dream comes true. That means Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon, for a couple of minutes at least, will be one-on-one in the Royal Rumble match.
And I got to ask you this, does anybody out there think it's going to take Steve Austin more than 2 minutes to take care of Vince McMahon one-on-one?
Well, Mr. McMahon, however, may have an added incentive. Don't forget the $100,000 bounty on the head of Stone Cold. If he can throw Stone Cold out, he saves some money.
Well, I don't think he's thinking about it that way as we see the Hardy Boys coming down the aisle for this 8-man. I think that Vince McMahon is thinking somebody somewhere has got to collect that $100,000 before the Rumble because he sure isn't going to be able to do it.
And their partners, Kevin Quinn and Too Sexy, Brian Christopher.
So the team of too much. Kevin Quinn and Brian Christopher teaming with the Hardy Boys to take on the Job Squad in 8-man tag team action. And where's the Scott Taylor?
I beg your difference, not the team of too much, as Scott Taylor has said. It's Brian Christopher and Kevin Quinn filling in for Scott Taylor. But where is Scott? We don't know that.
Folks, what a story this past week. The improbable dream comes true for Mankind. Mick Foley, he's worked 15 years to become champion. He's WWF champion after the victory over The Rock.
And so many times it's been said it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but in this case I want to change that. It has never happened to a nicer guy. Nobody deserves this championship more than Mick Foley.
For years, training to be a wrestler. wrestler. He slept on floors of Motel 6s. He slept in his Ford Fairmont automobile for 2 years as he learned his trade. He gives of himself, he has tremendous heart, and now he can call himself champion. But my question to you, Jim, is this. What does Mr. McMahon think about having the centerpiece of this company be Mankind?
Well, I think he likes Steve Austin as champion better than he likes Mankind, and we all know how good he likes Steve Austin, but think about this. Who and how is that title going to ever escape Mankind's grasp? Because after all, we've seen what Mick Foley will do. We've seen what kind of punishment he'll take. We have seen that you will literally have to pry that belt out of his cold, dead fingers. I don't know what anybody can do to take that thing away from him, and Mr. McMahon has got to be livid. But speaking of cold, dead fingers, Shawn Michaels nearly ended up with the same when he crossed the corporation and got the payback last Monday.
We're going to show you that a bit later on here at Shotgun Saturday Night as Scorpio now goes to work on Jeff Hardy. Can you imagine Mr. McMahon going to a Rotary Club luncheon with Mankind? Or how about on the Southwest Airlines magazine, Mr. McMahon and The Rock on the cover? Can you imagine Mr. McMahon and Mankind on the cover?
Well, I can see Mankind there right now in his designer white shirt with the big slits and holes in it and that flannel tie around his neck. That'll look real good.
What a maneuver by the Hardy Boys, and the Blue Meanie in some trouble now. Matt Hardy whips him off the rope, misses with the right hand. Meanie kicks to the midsection, and look at his neck breaker on Matt Hardy.
I don't believe in a wrestling move from the Blue Meanie.
Hooks the leg, and a kick out after 2.
We see the double feature here. Look at the Hardy Boys fly. They are so innovative. They will invent more maneuvers than most guys will use in the course of a match, and that's just one of them. Oh, this ain't gonna work.
Blue Meanie trying to lift Kevin Quinn up, and he does it that time and slams him down. You know, rumors are swirling at Titan Tower, Jim, that Mr. McMahon is so upset he may force Mankind to defend that WWF Championship rather quickly. But again, no one seems to know. But can you imagine what's going to happen if Mr. McMahon doesn't allow The Rock to have a rematch?
Well, you know, a lot of people are saying, I haven't heard this, of course, from Mr. McMahon directly. I try to stay out of his way, but a lot of people are saying the sentiment is that Mankind may have The Rock's number. Maybe The Rock is not the man to take that title away from Mankind. Vince McMahon may search elsewhere for another challenger.
Bob Holly with an inverted atomic drop on Kevin Quinn, follows it up with a clothesline. Hopefully we will learn more on that story tomorrow night. Sunday Night Heat, 7 o'clock, 6 Central on USA, live from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas.
Well, Dwayne Gill, that's his move for the night. Wait a minute,
cover now. There's 2, and Kevin Quinn kicks out. Hey, he's the light heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he came in the ring, got cheered, and almost had a heart attack. Boy, Mr. McMahon's got a lot of problems. I want to talk in just a few minutes about the situation with Shane and what's going to happen to anybody that tries to cross him.
Kevin Quinn floats over. Nice maneuver on Scorpio. Folks, we got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Looking good this week. Well, Dwayne Gill, he better stick to business. He's so fired up that he's actually had some offense there that he turned his back on his opponent, but Matt Hardy. Wait a minute, Brian Christopher with a little helping hand.
Full Nelson leg sweep face first into the mat. I'll tell you what I'm fired up about. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Heat live, 7 o'clock, 6 Central, USA from San Antonio. We understand the WWF is forcing Steve Blackman and Owen Hart to settle their differences once and for all in a Lion's Den match, and Dan Severn's going to be the special guest referee.
This thing has all kinds of potential, because you know what a Lion's Den match is? We saw the first one ever at SummerSlam. It doesn't take place in a ring. It takes place in a 9-foot pit surrounded by steel fencing. And there's no way in and no way out until the match is decided one way or the other, and Owen Hart and Blackman have had their problems. Owen is the only guy in the match who has experience in the Lion's Den. Blackman, however, is a martial arts expert, and when you put Dan Severn in there, who has bad feelings with both men in that situation, wait a minute, Hardy's up the top.
We've seen this before, the Hardy Boys match. Flash leg drop, hooks the leg, Dwayne Gill should be through here, and the Blue Meanie makes the save.
And I was going to say, when you put Severn in there, a special referee, a man who has a lot of ultimate fighting, no-holds-barred fighting experience, that's a wild card. Anything can happen tomorrow night live on Sunday Night Heat.
Also tomorrow night, from behind, Bob Holly. Stable will be on Sunday Night Heat tomorrow night with a response to Luna's attack from 2 weeks ago.
Gotta wonder what's running through Luna's mind, because she turned her back on her friends, the Oddities, and her friend was Sable there for a while, and she just attacked her out of nowhere. Maybe she's gunning for that WWF Women's title.
Scorpio now, big left hands on Brian Christopher. The Job Squad in control, and Christopher's in trouble. There goes Kevin Quinn. There goes Matt Hardy. There goes Jeff Hardy.
This thing is seesawed back and forth, and it's breaking down now. All 8 guys are in the ring.
Oh, we're in the ring. Jeff Hardy and Bob Holly now out.
There goes the Meanie. Matt Hardy looks like he's going to go over the top after it.
Legal men are Scorpio and Brian Christopher as Holly decks Jeff Hardy. Scorpio now with a forearm. Kevin Quinn in the ring now. It's 2-on-1. And Scorpio counters. What a spinning heel kick.
The referee has totally lost control of this whole situation. We've got fights going on the floor, fights in the ring, fights all over the arena.
Scorpio now setting up Kevin Quinn. Wow.
Power bombs him, and he looks like he's going for the moonsault.
Scorpio gonna fly now. Top rope. Oh! That should be it. Here's the cover, too. And Christopher from behind with a boot to the head.
Christopher just a little too closer. I believe Scorpio would have had Kevin Quinn there with that turnaround crossbody, but once again, Brian Christopher taking things well in hand for his team.
And Kevin Quinn now double team with Christopher on Scorpio. And Christopher's gonna fly. Perhaps setting him up. No! Counter! Kick to the head! And Kevin Quinn causes Christopher to fall on his, you know what?
Looks like a Rube Goldberg invention here. And Scorpio now has another chance to put this one away. And it looks like he's going for the... What is he going for? Good Lord, he's going to break his neck.
Top rope now, Scorpio. What a maneuver. Hooks the leg. It's over. The Job Squad will win this one.
Here are your winners, the Job Squad.
Can you believe it? A shoulder rod victory roll from the top rope by Scorpio. I don't know when I've seen this one before. And Brian Christopher can't believe it.
Scorpio continues to amaze, and Christopher now taking it out on his partner, Kevin Quinn, like Quinn had anything to do with it.
They are tremendous athletes. Very unique, but perhaps the hottest trio to ever step foot in the WWF. Gangrel, Edge, and Christian, the Brood. And Michael, the Brood has recently been unveiled as members, newest members of the Ministry of Darkness. They still adopt their own persona, their own path. They live their own lives, but they have come to be swayed to the Undertaker's way of thinking, which in my mind just makes these 3 men even more dangerous, more unpredictable than they have ever been before. But I can predict one thing about them. Any combination of this trio could be WWF Tag Team Champions anytime soon. And here is this unique pre-game ritual, so to speak. It's spewing of the red liquid. It's a psychological ploy. It's something that not only unnerves their competition, but also gives them a psychological edge. And Jim, 2 weeks ago, the unveiling of the Brood as the latest members of the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness. And Gangrel seemed to be happy about it. I'm going to say something about this Brood. No matter what they do, no matter who they face, in this case, Matt and Jeff Hardy, it seems that the people can recognize the talent. The WWF fans, the viewers all over the world, are solidly behind the Brood. They see that these young men are the future of the World Wrestling Federation. So it's going to be Matt Hardy locking up with Christian to kick things off in this matchup, and another member of the Ministry coming up a bit later on, the very strange Mideon, who had some strange things to say on Raw Saturday Night a few hours ago. We'll talk all about that. Christian whips Matt Hardy into the rope. There's the knockdown by Matt Hardy. A new aggressive nature for these Hardy boys. Well, the Hardys realized the nice guys finished last. Beautiful hip lock there, and they weren't about to take things lying down. Of course, now Christian is forcing Matt Hardy to take things lying down, whether he likes it or not. We are just hours away from St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific tomorrow night. And don't forget Sunday Night Heat live on the USA Network, the hour before the big pay-per-view. I cannot wait, Jim, to find out what's going to happen in the Stone Cold McMahon steel cage match. Takedown by Edge. And a lot of guarantees were flying around Skydome a little bit earlier tonight.
And wait a minute, here's Christian now. Look at this maneuver.
Christian to the air, and both the Hardy Boys down. And the Brood taken to the air on this thing, and now Edge, he's backing up. He's just about ready to go.
Edge now off the ropes. Hardy's in trouble. Look at this maneuver by Edge. The inner rage of Edge coming out in the Brood is in control. Jim, earlier on, Stone Cold Steve Austin guaranteed that he would beat Mr. McMahon, that he would walk over McMahon's carcass to WrestleMania, and that there would be bloodshed and it wouldn't be the rattlesnakes. Mr. McMahon, on the other hand, guaranteed that there will be no corporate interference, and that the WWF will never be the same again for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, what a drop kick. One of those guarantees has got to give.
And something else has got to give, and that's Jeff Hardy. He may have him.
Kick out by Hardy after 2.
I'll tell you something. These Hardys, especially since you noted their new attitude, Matt and Jeff Hardy are not pushovers. They're tremendous young athletes and fine young men. But the Brood, look at this teamwork. I haven't seen teamwork like this in years. Every move they anticipate. Edge, Christian, and Gangrel are 3 men that live as one.
Oh, Matt Hardy, wise move. Christian over the top rope, and now Matt Hardy's going to take advantage. Referee Mike Chioda's back with turn of the action.
And that's something that you wouldn't have seen either of the Hardys do just a couple of months ago. But they've decided to go out and take what they want instead of waiting for somebody to hand it to them. And that's why the Brood had better not underestimate the Hardy Boys.
Nice maneuver by Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy delivers the elbow to the sternum off the second rope. And here now, the hook of the leg could be an upset on the way. And a kick out by Christian.
This Christian, possibly the most underestimated member of the Brood, a tremendous athlete in his own right.
Hook of the leg again by Matt Hardy and another kick out. You know, Jim, the Hardy Boys are also actors. They were part of the That 70s show last Sunday along with The Rock and Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I don't think they were using the Stravinsky method of acting, though.
And here now, Jeff Hardy, look at this maneuver. Off the top rope, up over the top into the cover. Well, wait a minute, he didn't go for the cover.
Well, that's what you call a mistake of youth. If he'd had the experience, he would have known to stay on his man while he had him. The Hardys are innovators of some exciting new moves, but that one just didn't pay off.
Jeff Hardy taking too much time, nobody home, and Christian now tries to gain some momentum.
Tremendous young athletes on both sides of the ring, giving it everything they've got here in this go. And there is that inverted DDT to the back of the head, and Christian has the opportunity to make the tag.
Jeff Hardy needs to make a tag as well. Who will get to their corner first?
Jeff got it.
And here comes Matt Hardy, and here comes Edge.
Oh!
Edge with a right hand and another one. Edge, a tremendous athlete.
Edge is on fire here in this match, but he turned his back too long on Matt Hardy. Both Hardys in the ring with Edge, and now they're going for the power bomb. Oh!
And we've seen this before. The leg drop and the splash off the top rope.
Both Hardys in opposite corners, but there's a miscue of the plan.
Christian knocks Matt Hardy off the top rope. Edge countered with the knee to Jeff Hardy's gut, and now the Brood hopes to take advantage.
Edge is on the run.
Oh, man. What a double team. Turn out the lights. This one's over. The Brood victorious.
Christian and Edge.
You can chalk another one up for the Brood. These men are on a winning streak, and they're not going.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Cameron, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 429 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
So the Hardy Boys set for tag team action on Shotgun Saturday Night. Jim, we just saw Mankind's referee career. Didn't really start off on the right foot.
But Mankind's campaign to be a WrestleMania guest referee is still well alive because there have been over 30,000 signatures emailed to the WWF website in support of Mankind being a referee in that title match at WrestleMania, in addition to the signatures he's collecting live. But I will say that Paul White and The Rock and Mr. McMahon really pulled the wool over his eyes in that one.
Yeah, the corporation seems stronger than ever. The Rock, Paul White, however, perhaps a bit of a problem within the corporation. We understand that Mr. McMahon is incensed that Kane lost the Inferno match to The Undertaker this past week on Raw.
That's right, and as a matter of fact, he plans to do something about it. Rumors are going around Titan Tower. You know, I keep my ear to the ground. That McMahon is planning on firing Kane from the corporation live this Monday night on Raw. Now, I don't know whether that would mean that he would be back in the booby hatch or out of the WWF or what, but this Monday night we'll find out.
Also, Jim, this Monday night, good old JR has informed us that he's ready to return. He claims he will be back on Raw this Monday. And as many of you know, JR was stricken with Bell's palsy back in December. He's been struggling to recover. But according to JR, he's ready to go and will be back on Raw live this Monday from Cleveland. Double clothesline, and Hill and Park are in trouble.
Hill and Parker are experienced as a tag team, but the Hardys are even more experienced because they're brothers. They've grown up with each other.
Matt Hardy, great maneuver over the top rope, lifts Hill and Parker back up. I think Jeff Hardy's going for a ride here, too.
Wow.
Look at that.
Good night. Look at the elevation. Look at the form. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are cooking here tonight. You know, I got to say something. I got to give it to Mr. McMahon, because whenever you have top professional athletes that are accustomed to competing in a contact sport, there's always going to be tempers running high and jealousies and things flaring up. But McMahon has successfully kept his corporation in check and able to coexist with each other. And I think that's probably the biggest job that McMahon has.
Oh, nice Hurricane Rana by Jeff Hardy. A kick now to the back. But Mr. McMahon has also got some other problems. The Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness. A couple of weeks ago, The Undertaker delivered that envelope with mysterious contents in it. Nice swinging neck breaker by Matt Hardy. Here's the cover now, and a kick out after two. We still don't know the contents of that envelope. And then this past week on Raw, in the Inferno match, The Undertaker, actually Paul Bearer, delivered a bear to Mr. McMahon at ringside, which totally threw Mr. McMahon off his game.
A little teddy bear. And you know, Mr. McMahon said that the envelope that The Undertaker had delivered to him contained threats that were too personal to talk about, but that they were outside the WWF arena. Well, a teddy bear is definitely outside the WWF arena, too. I just don't know what significance that it had to Vince McMahon.
All we know is Mr. McMahon was brought to his knees by The Undertaker, especially when that bear was set on fire. And The Undertaker, Jim, has basically said three things. One, he holds the key to Mr. McMahon's soul. Two, he's going to take over the WWF. And three, he answers to a power greater than him.
Well, I don't know about some of those, but it seems like he does have the key to bring Mr. McMahon to his knees. Mr. McMahon was a blubbering, quivering bowl of jello at the sight of that bear going up in flames, and I can't figure that one out.
Jeff Hardy, tremendous athlete, and the Hardy Boys with a new attitude here.
Look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He's right on the back of his head. Good Lord. Roger Hill pulled that top rope down when Jeff Hardy was being sent into it, and he went right out of the ring on the top of his head.
And Frank Parker now in control of Jeff Hardy. You know, we're talking about the new attitude of the Hardy Boys. What about this new demeanor for Sable?
Well, I don't think it's anything new. I think it's just bubbled to the surface. All this stuff has gone to her head. The cover of Playboy, Regis and Kathy Lee, all this publicity she's gotten.
Cover now by Hill. Shoulder up for Jeff Hardy.
The normal woman has come out in Sable, if you want my opinion.
Is it stress? Is it pressure?
No, it's ego.
Well, ego or not, Sable will be on the cover of the April issue of Playboy, available March 8th at newsstands everywhere.
Just remember, Michael, something I taught you.
What?
People don't change. They only emerge. It's always in you.
WWF superstars are everywhere as of late. What a week it's been for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Howard Stern radio show, and how about his performance last night on Nash Bridges? He was great.
You know, he took the whole show on Nash Bridges, and talk about The Rock coming up. He's going to be on the net on USA Network on March 13th. The Undertaker on Poltergeist on USA on March 14th. And speaking of The Rock, let's not forget Raw is War this Monday. The Rock will defend the WWF Championship against the Road Dogg in one-on-one competition. That was going to be hot Monday on Raw, Michael.
Yeah, The Rock versus the Road Dogg for the WWF title. Somebody needs to make a tag here. And here comes Matt Hardy along with Roger Hill. Right hand out of the face of Hill, and Matt Hardy kick to the midsection. And Matt Hardy now in control.
Matt Hardy, he is cooking. Slam on Hill, slam on Parker. Matt Hardy got to create an opening with his fast break offense.
And there's the double team now by Hill and Parker, who've held their own in this match. It'd be a huge upset here for these two.
These guys are veterans compared to the Hardys, but the Hardys so innovative. Always coming up with new maneuvers, a double bulldog, and Jeff Hardy back in this one. It's all four guys going at it.
And here's the double team now by the Hardy Boys. Face first, middle of the ring. Mr. Hill is in serious trouble here, and the Hardy Boys setting him up for this patented maneuver. The leg drop in the splash. Watch these two kids fly.
Call the air traffic controllers.
Oh! Hardy hooks the leg. This one's over. The Hardy Boys with a big victory over Hill and Parker.
Here are your winners, the Hardy Boys.
Say what you want about the Hardys.
Thanks for staying up late with us here on Shotgun Saturday Night. During the commercial break, the Hardy Boys in Too Much entering the ring set for tag team action, and you see DOA at ringside. I guess they're the bodyguards for Too Much.
Well, they've formed some kind of bond with Too Much. We've seen that in the past couple of weeks, and this should be an excellent tag team contest, and I'm about ready to see one.
Well, speaking of forming bonds, what about the bond that's been formed between China and Kane? Kane this past week showing a side of him we've never seen before, an emotional side.
Well, it was almost disturbing for me to watch, Michael, because you've seen Kane be such an emotionless, passionless monster with no feeling for his fellow human beings. And then all of a sudden, we see that he has one weak spot. Beautiful move by Scott Taylor there, hanging onto that top rope. Kane has one weak spot, evidently, and that is China. He was so concerned for her. It was almost like he picked up a rag doll in his arms.
And a medical update on China now, Jim. She suffered partial damage to the retina of her right eye. She's seeing specialists, and we understand she'll be at Raw this week. Hopefully we'll learn more about her situation. But that fireball was obviously meant for Triple H. And we learned on Livewire this morning, Triple H will meet Kane at WrestleMania 15.
Boy, just another tremendous contest has been signed for WrestleMania 15 that's shaping up to be the strongest WrestleMania lineup in history.
Look out now. Inverted atomic drop to Matt Hardy, and Too Much now working as a team. Speaking of WrestleMania, you know what? It's 2 weeks from tonight. The WrestleMania Rage Party, the night before WrestleMania. And what an event. Oh! It's going to be
Double Bulldog.
Limited tickets are still available. Chef Boyardee sponsors the WrestleMania Rage Party. And listen to some of these acts. The Cherry Poppin' Daddy.
Whoa.
How about the Big Punisher? And Isaac Hayes, the voice of Chef from South Park. Chef Boyardee presents WrestleMania Rage Party. And of course, Jim, all your WWF superstars are going to be there.
Stone Cold's going to be there. So's The Rock. We understand so is Sable. It's going to be a big get-together in Philadelphia. And speaking of a big get-together, it looks like the Hardys are fixed to get together with Too Much again.
Here's Jeff Hardy.
Good night.
And speaking of Sable, what about the latest issue of Playboy? Sable on the cover and inside. It's the hottest selling issue of Playboy of all time.
Well, you've seen it everywhere. It's on the news. It's on television. It's on newsstands right now. And you can be a part of it. And you can see Sable's parts, too.
And DOA becoming a part of this. Jeff Hardy knocked off the top rope. Referee didn't see it. And now Too Much is in control.
DOA was there to lend the one helping hand that may have turned the tide on this contest when Jeff Hardy was up on that rope. And it looks like Jeff's hurt his right knee or right ankle.
And Brian Christopher now in control of Jeff Hardy. Look at the peel out of the corner. Yank of the hair.
Yeah, with that ponytail, which is another reason when you're a wrestler, you got to keep your hair cut. And it now looks like Too Much has things firmly in control, and Jeff Hardy having a pretty hard time standing or running.
Oh, my. Kick to the midsection. There's Too Hot Scott Taylor, and the double team now by Too Much.
Double team Dr. Bomb puts Jeff Hardy down flat on his back, but once again, Too Much hot dogging, taking too much time, not going for the cover, and that's where I think they've made a crucial mistake.
I hope they're not going to be dancing like that at the Rage Party.
Well, you can bet if they are, they're going to get some stares from the rest of the crowd. Although, I don't know, can you dance like that to the cherry-picking daddies?
The Cherry Poppin' Daddies. There's the cover now and a kick out. And, folks, you can see the...
Poppin', picking, I don't know.
You can see the Cherry Poppin' Daddies WrestleMania Rage Party live on USA the night before WrestleMania. Jeff Hardy off the ropes now. Look at this. Sunset flip. Caught Taylor. Hooks the shoulders and a kick out. And now Taylor with a cover. And a kick out by Hardy. Whoa. And now another cover here. And another kick out.
Tremendous series. Chain wrestling by both Jeff Hardy and Scott Taylor. But Scott Taylor puts the point on that exclamation point with a big clothesline.
And here's the tag now to his partner, Brian Christopher.
Boy, Michael, you talk about WrestleMania 15. This lineup is shaping up. And see, once again, that right leg collapsed from Jeff Hardy there. He was not able to even make it to the ropes as he was thrown in. The WrestleMania 15 lineup, I think probably the strongest one in the history of WrestleMania. And what about that triple threat match for the hardcore title? Al Snow versus Road Dogg versus Hardcore Holly.
Well, don't forget the four-corner elimination match for the Intercontinental title. Val Venus, Ken Shamrock, Goldust, and B.A. Billy Gunn in the Brawl for All. Butterbean versus Bart Gunn. And listen to this big news announced on Livewire this morning, Jim. Boxer Vinny Pazienza will be the guest referee. Oh! Great maneuver by Brian Christopher that time. Also in that matchup, the guest judges at ringside, WWF legend Gorilla Monsoon, boxing trainer Kevin Rooney, and boxers Bobby Chaz and former boxer Chuck Wepner.
Chuck Wepner had the famous contest with Andre the Giant at Shea Stadium in 1975. I'm going to look forward to seeing that, but you know who the king of the Brawl for All is, don't you, as far as announcers go? Your old buddy JR. How are your groin area feeling there?
Well, here's Christopher now off the top rope, and Hardy caught him. I'll tell you one thing right now.
You just glossed right over that, Michael.
Oh, I'm going to get to it.
You got kicked in the snavitzes last Monday by JR, who just wanted to go back to work. And I think, as just a little commentary on my part, I think everybody wanted to see it, too.
You know what? I have nothing against Jim Ross, but what he did to me was blatantly uncalled for. It was a cheap shot, and I believe I deserve an apology. All I was doing was my job.
Matt Hardy is going crazy here in this ring right now. He is the fresh man, and he has given Jeff a new lease on life in this contest.
Oh! Into the corner now, Christopher and Taylor. Here are the Hardy Boys. And watch this maneuver here. The springboard into the corner.
Innovative tag team concepts from the Hardy Boys. They're always coming up with a new maneuver, a new way of doing something. And they have too much on the recoil.
Off the ropes now, DOA grabs the leg. Referee didn't see it. And look out now, Matt Hardy. Oh, what a bolt line. Matt Hardy's the legal man, and he's in all kinds of trouble.
There goes Jeff on the back of his head. He ends up there a lot. And too much, all of a sudden, has once again taken control of this roller. Oh, my God. This roller coaster ride of a tag team match is just broken down.
And look out now, Christopher going to the top rope, pink motorcycle helmet and all. And it looks like it could be Tennessee Jam time.
And with a helmet, oh! I don't think that helped any. The helmet was on the wrong end.
And this one's over. Too much. Give the assist to DOA. Pick up the victory. You know, WrestleMania 15, Jim. Shane McMahon, X-Pac for the European Championship. Shane's been training, we understand, at least according to his friends, on the mean streets of Greenberg.
Welcome back, folks. The road to WrestleMania ends next Sunday.
With a 20-minute time limit in the ring from Cameron, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 432 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
And how will Stone Cold's road to WrestleMania be impacted by the match against the Big Show Paul White this Monday on Raw, the biggest Raw match ever?
Their opponent to be escorted to the ring by Dipra at a combined weight of 460 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Owen, Hart, and Jarrett.
Killer, every time I see the tape of Dr. Death dumping that fan on his head, I get a sick feeling in my stomach. You were sitting ringside. Tell me how you feel.
Well, to be honest with you, I felt like the fan kind of got what he deserved.
You think by imitating JR, he should have been dropped on his head, maybe paralyzed?
Terry, I'm a big believer in karma. You reap what you sow. You do something tasteless to a man like Jim Ross, you get what you deserve. But you know what? That same karmatic belief also tells me that Jim Ross might be going a little bit too far in what I feel is his reckless pursuit of wanting his job back on Raw as War this past Monday.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Mr. McMahon wasn't so preoccupied with Undertaker and his family that he didn't come in and take care of JR himself.
Maybe you would have been sent down to ringside again if that would have been the case.
I'm not getting dumped on my head, I can assure you of that. I still can run a 4.40. Next week here on Heat, live, an hour before WrestleMania, a Battle Royal will be held where the two winners, the last two men in the ring, will meet and take on Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart for the WWF Tag Team titles.
Well, that match, of course, will happen at WrestleMania, and it'll be a golden opportunity for two men to get a title shot, much like the Public Enemy got this past Monday on Raw.
Well, Word in the locker room is that Public Enemy, that was almost a good faith gesture by the executive committee of the WWF because, let's be quite honest, the welcome mat has not been rolled out for Public Enemy.
Well, that's a rumor. You know how internet rumor is. Nice move there. Nice agility by Matt Hardy. Good follow-up, though, by Jeff Jarrett.
Does Jeff Jarrett throw one of the best drop kicks in the business?
Well, that's a thing of beauty, that's for sure. Speaking of things of beauty, how about Deborah on the outside? Is she looking fine this week or what?
Well, you're right. Deborah is beautiful. She's very distracting, and I think Public Enemy, not to belabor a point, has to be distracted too, because every time they go into the ring or show up at any venue, they're getting murdered.
Well, oh, wait a minute.
Inside cradle, 1, 2. What an upset this would be for the Hardy Boys, who are that close to breaking into stardom and superstardom here in the WWF.
Well, certainly, I mean, what happened to the Public Enemy at the hands of the Acolytes? I mean, yeah, sure. And then the Brood followed it up this past Sunday on Heat. But, you know, hey, competition's tough here in the WWF, Terry. These guys had better be ready to go.
Awesome double suplex by the Hardy Boys. No follow-up trying to get the cover and the pin. I think the Public Enemy aren't going anywhere. I think they're here for the duration.
Well, I mean, a lot of people say that the welcome mat hasn't exactly been rolled out for them, but certainly their reputation for toughness precedes them. What about Owen Hart?
Oh, you talk about toughness. Owen Hart, great wrestling tradition, great background. He is an awesome competitor, and he and Jeff Jarrett feel like there are no other worthy teams in the WWF. That's why the Battle Royal has been signed.
I'll be interested to see what team comes out of that Battle Royal. I can't help but think about the success of the team of the New Age Outlaws in their single pursuit this past week on Raw. Each member of the New Age Outlaws walking away with a singles title.
What a move by Jeff Hardy. He got beat. Boy, had the champion down for a 2 count. Owen Hart kicking out. Non-title event here, but what a great move this would be for the Hardy Boys to catch a win over the champions.
It would put them in that #1 contenders position.
Oh, man. I feel scared every time I see Jeff Hardy in this predicament. Oh! Puts himself at risk. Owen Hart, did you see that killer lean back? So Jeff Hardy didn't have a very good target. Speaking of targets,
I'm sure the womanly charge will wow the young Jeff Hardy.
Ooh. What a baseball slide by Jeff Jarrett. This has got to be teamwork between the 3.
Yeah, Deborah is such an integral part of the success of Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett.
I don't think you can play that factor down. The champions use her at every opportunity to keep the upper hand and to keep their opponents off balance.
Well, there's a lot of champions that could be off balance after this Sunday on Heat.
Ooh, great missile drop kick by Owen Hart.
Hart, the new hardcore champion, B.A. Billy Gunn, is going to defend that title against Al Snow. And also this Sunday on Heat, the Road Dogg will defend his newly won Intercontinental title against Ken Shamrock.
It's unbelievable, a week out from WrestleMania, the confusion in those 2 matches.
Well, WrestleMania 15 was all set to go with a triple threat hardcore championship match and a 4 corners elimination match for the Intercontinental title. But as you said, Terry, the new champions being crowned, I understand there's yet to be a solid decision being made, but perhaps after this Sunday on Heat, there will finally be some solidifying to that championship situation at WrestleMania.
Oh! Great arm breaker by Jeff Jarrett, who's going to go for the legs, work the arm, has a lot of different ways to attack his opponent. And you're right, speaking of attack, the whole WrestleMania card talking about the triple threat and also the 4 corners elimination is up in the air in the committee. I'd hate to have their job.
Opportunity perhaps for a little bit of a comeback here from Jeff Hardy.
Unbelievable double drop kick. Jeff Hardy, they've been beat the tar out of him for 4 minutes. He does make the tag to Matt. Matt Hardy comes in, clothesline with the right arm, another clothesline. He's got the champions on the run. Great strength, body slam. Owen Hart tries to come from behind. 2 great body slams. Does he have the endurance to keep this assault going? Reversal by the champion, Jeff Jarrett. Swinging neck breaker by Matt.
A rare mistake by Jeff Jarrett. Let's see if the Hardys can capitalize and get the victory.
Signature double team move. Jeff Hardy, I don't know how he has recuperative powers. Comes across with a cross body modified into Owen Hart.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, God, you see the way that leg whipped across the forehead of Matt Hardy.
All of that took place behind referee Jim Corderas' back. Jeff Jarrett and Matt Hardy are the legal men.
Almost a reverse Russian leg sweep. 3. Great win for the champions in a non-title event, and that makes Deborah very, very happy, Killer.
World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett.
Win for the Tag Team Champions as they await to find out who their opponents will be at WrestleMania, just a week away.
Welcome back, everybody, to Shotgun. And speaking of welcome back, killers, how about the return of Pete Rose at WrestleMania?
Never thought we would see Pete Rose at WrestleMania again, but we did.
I wouldn't have bet on it.
Yeah, in shocking fashion. And once again, Pete Rose tombstones by Kane at WrestleMania.
And talking about things that I've never seen, or you either, I'm sorry, but X-Pac, what an interview, what an emotional display he had on Raw. X-Pac talking about what it meant to him with Triple H and China turning on him. And also, I think the most important thing was, DX will live on.
Well, Public Enemy, one of the 4 teams in this 4-team tag team war here on Shotgun. But it hasn't been, some say, a warm greeting for Flyboy and Grunge. Last Sunday on Heat, the tag team battle royal began with a ring full of WWF superstars pouncing on the newest members to the fraternity. Or are they? Flyboy and Grunge were deposited out of the ring, both eliminated from the battle royal. These just as the battle got underway.
Flyboy, Rocco, and Grunge, from what we understand, when they bring their bags into the locker room, everybody leaves.
Yes, but if you ask the Public Enemy, they're the first ones to say there is no problem. And if you ask other WWF superstars about how they feel about the Public Enemy being here, they go, no problem at all. It's one of those stories that nobody is willing to talk about, but it's so evident, it's so plain to see.
The welcome mat has not been rolled out for Public Enemy. Will we find out why?
Well, this could be a great opportunity for them to earn some respect here in the World Wrestling Federation. A great showing of victory here in this 4-team tag war. It's going to go a long way for proving the Public Enemy belongs in the WWF.
Belongs? Where does Kane belong right now, Kevin? Great question. The contention is he is not in the corporation. Where does he belong? Who can he trust?
Kane was obviously duped by Triple H and China. What a saga Triple H was. A master plan he unfolded this past Sunday at WrestleMania 15. I conducted the final DX interview as it was intact. All 5 members getting their hands in before X-Pac was going to go out and reclaim European Championship gold. It was a plot all along. Now with Triple H and China both together again in the corporation, the corporate stock continues to rise.
On the other hand, the loss of Kane and Paul White's big show, is that statement true?
Oh, the big tackle. It's too much. DOA, the Hardy Boys, and the Public Enemy in a 4-team tag match here on Shotgun. Any man of any team could tag in any other man of any other team at any time. One fall to a finish, and now up and down on the knee with the atomic drop. Matt Hardy has Too Hot in some trouble.
Oh, beautiful running neck breaker. I think we need to congratulate the new champion as of WrestleMania.
Yeah, roll call time. Goldust, the new Intercontinental Champion. Congratulations to the Bizarre One with a big victory this past Sunday on Raw over the Road Dogg. And also, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the WWF Champion, but he is still in pursuit of his championship belt.
Each of these superstars on these teams pursuing a win to jettison themselves. Speaking of jettison, great move by Jeff Hardy. That must be the end of the match. He has got to cover here. He has Too Hotty down. Incredible move.
And DOA just makes the save moments before it seems to be all over it. Take a look at this senton maneuver. Jeff Hardy with incredible agility. Twice, though, in this match so far, Terry. Men have had the opportunity to tag Public Enemy, and they haven't done so yet. Oh, look at that.
Maybe that's because each team thinks they have the skill to win the match themselves. Great teamwork here by Too Hot. Oh, powerbomb. Jeff Hardy injures himself with that high-risk style. Speaking of injuring yourself.
Oh, look at these two.
Describe that move, Color Man.
I try not to. Wait a minute now. DOA. 8-Ball's been tagged in.
Very interesting situation here, Kev. What's going to happen? An association has been established between Too Much and DOA. Tag made.
I thought they were biker buddies.
I'm not sure what that means.
Pen pals.
Pen pals works for me. Wait, Too Hotty on the top rope. Beautiful crossbody on DOA.
Well, those guys are sneaky.
Another cover by Too Sexy. DOA too strong. In the corner, Too Hotty could have tagged Public Enemy, but he chose not to again.
Boy, and now 8-Ball's getting more and more hot. And look at this. Oh, man.
This was almost like a cross-body slam.
Oh, they're getting hot now. cameras are flaring.
Let him fight, Flyboy. Let him fight.
Flyboy is dying to get in there.
Anytime a superstar has a chance to determine the outcome of a match by his own skill, having a professional attitude, they want to get in. Public Enemy not allowed that opportunity.
You got to imagine the winner of this 4-team tag match is going to be one of the contenders, a top contender for Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart's tag team title. Of course the Public Enemy wants to get just even a sniff of action. They haven't even been in the ring yet.
We talk about hardcore. We talk about Holly. We talk about Al Snow. Beautiful belly to belly. I think you'd agree, Kevin, Public Enemy, as hardcore as anybody here, not allowed to show it.
Their reputation preceded them into the World Wrestling Federation. But, Terry, you'd have to admit, they haven't shown a whole lot since their debut here in the WWF.
Or the opportunity has not presented itself for them to make that good showing.
That's a good point.
A great showing made Monday night on Raw by Paul White, the Big Show, coming out at the end of the night to the aid of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I think everybody wants to know, is now the Big Show and Stone Cold Steve Austin, are they a united force? I don't think either man really wants to have anything to do with the other. All they are right now, as far as we know, Terry, they have a common enemy in the corporation. And both the Big Show and Stone Cold will do anything it takes to take the corporation down.
Yes, they will. Great tag team movement here. Wow. Has to be a finishing consequence here. But the running man, Kevin Pat, and everything but trying to win the match.
And now it seems as if they're almost, too much is almost mocking the Public Enemy, taunting in denying them a tag opportunity.
Teddy Long, I would hate to have his job trying to keep control out of 8 superstars, movement all over the ring, personality clashes. What a main event.
I know that The Rock certainly part of the main event at WrestleMania 15. An incredible championship match between he and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wait a minute, sunset flip.
1, 2. Too hot, he close to the ropes, toes, he kicked out, and follows up with a great lariat.
We will hear from The Rock this Sunday on Heat, Terry. Get his first reaction, his first thought to Stone Cold winning the WWF Championship. But you could assume that The Rock will be the one wearing the gold when Sunday Night Heat takes place at 7/6 Central on USA.
In other words, your contention, Killer, is that the situation with Stone Cold and The Rock is far from settled.
Oh, it certainly is. Look at this!
Double bulldog!
Desperation move out of the corner. Matt Hardy needed to not only find an escape, but now he's got to find a way to make a tag.
The team that tags in here has the advantage. Flyboy Rocco comes in, first showing.
Boy, he's dying to get in, and now Johnny Grimes just comes. Wait a minute.
It's turned into a battle royal. It happened again, Killer. All the members of the other team starting up Public Enemy. Who's on the bottom? What happened?
What in the world?
Flyboy was on the bottom. The referee, Teddy Long, counted. Bodies everywhere. It looked like a fumble in a football game.
Is there a concerted effort?
Here are your winners.
To deny the Public Enemy their opportunity here in the WWF, perhaps with more compelling evidence. Right now, Doc Hendricks is Sanchez.
Welcome back to Shotgun, everybody.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. In the ring, from Cameron, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 431 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
What a great reaction Mankind got from the hometown crowd last Monday on Raw. The Hardy Boys opponents, though, are still looking for acceptance here in the WWF. They seem to be a team without a home.
From Philadelphia, at a combined weight of 531 pounds, Flyboy Rocco, Johnny Grimes, Public Enemy.
Kevin, great point. It seems like Public Enemy, every time they get into the locker room, people leave. They go to the ring. They won't be tagged in Public Enemy until when they are tagged in. Last week we saw it. All members of the other 3 teams in the 4-corner tag attacked.
Yeah, they certainly did. The Hardy Boys were one of those teams. And it seems that there has been a concerted effort to try to freeze out the Public Enemy from giving them an opportunity to excel. The Public Enemy's resume is tremendous. But if they're never given an opportunity to show their skills, how can they ever be successful here in the WWF?
I think this is just an indication of how important tag team wrestling is here in the WWF. Kane and X-Pac scheduled to defend their titles live on Heat this Sunday.
And it certainly is no secret that Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett want another opportunity at those tag team titles.
Their rematch.
Yeah, they certainly deserve one. But Terry, what about the words spoken by the New Age Outlaws last Monday, the soon-to-be tag team champions of the world?
DX is already fragile. Wow, open it up right now. Johnny Grunge is attacking here on Matt Hardy. Maybe this is the night the luck changes for Public Enemy.
All they've wanted is opportunity. They want to be one of the tag teams figured in to the competitive title scene. It certainly seems that the new champions, Kane and X-Pac, are going to be fighting champions. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett, we know their skills. And the New Age Outlaws, perhaps the greatest tag team ever here in the WWF.
Tremendous athletes, the New Age Outlaws, but what goes through New Age Outlaws' minds when they know that they have to go up against a friend in X-Pac?
Well, business being what it is, I'm sure the New Age Outlaws would not take a back step, and we could see that time come to pass very soon. Heat will be live this Sunday, folks. Matt Hardy's second rope, big clothesline on Johnny Grunge. I'm anxious to see, wait a second, first lateral press of the match. I'm anxious, Terry, to see the triple threat hardcore title match live on Heat this Sunday. Dr. Death, who we'll see later on in the hour, against Al Snow and the champion Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, those three seem to really have bad blood because Dr. Death intervenes. And what's interesting is Al Snow said nobody is going to win the hardcore title away from Holly, but them.
Yeah, but them, the plural. He and Head, of course. And Dr. Death was a one-man destruction crew this past Monday on Raw. We'll see Dr. Death a little later on in action here, making his shotgun debut. And certainly bad things could happen to both Al Snow and Hardcore Holly this Sunday night live on Heat.
The funny thing is Dr. Death from behind attacked Holly and Snow, dunking both men on their heads. What kind of shape will they be? Does that mean Dr. Death has a better opportunity now?
Tilt-a-whirl power slam.
Oh my gosh! Jeff Hardy, I think, had a chance for a breakthrough win here.
Terry, you just about jumped out of your chair when you saw Jeff not make that pin attempt.
15 years in the ring, everybody ever wrestled covered me. I just had to learn how to kick out.
Matt Hardy pounded away on the flyboy in the corner.
You like the Hardys, don't you, Killer?
They're a tremendous team. Real upside to these guys, both of them in their young 20s, just starting out.
Great movement. Flyboy Rocco.
Oh, wait a minute. Nice veteran move there. Johnny Grunge on the apron.
Veteran move. Teams that have been together a long time know what the other thinks, and they set the other team up. Matt Hardy fell into the trap. Double team move by Public Enemy. Elevation. On the face, down goes Matt Hardy.
Well, it looks as if Public Enemy's taking out all their frustration here on the Hardy Boys. And I know that Ken Shamrock is going to be frustrated. He's got to be angered. We will see Ken Shamrock, the return of the world's most dangerous man to action following his abduction last Monday on Raw. Plus, we'll also have an explanation this Sunday of what exactly happened to Ken during that abduction from the ministry. And I've got to wonder what's going through Shamrock's mind knowing that his sister Ryan was sacrificed at the hands of The Undertaker. We'll show you what happened on Raw a little later on.
I think the common thread, Killer, is that Ryan was sacrificed. Ken Shamrock abducted by the ministry, taken out. I think this has become personal between The Undertaker and Shamrock.
Is Ken Shamrock, though, on his own, strong enough to fight the Ministry of Darkness by himself?
Is anybody?
Well, that's a good question. It appears as if Shane McMahon wanted nothing to do with having the corporation assist Ken Shamrock, saying he feared it was a trap being set by the Ministry. He allowed Ken Shamrock to be abducted by The Undertaker and the Ministry last Monday.
Here, one.
Well, wait a minute. Mike Chioda obviously sensing the shoulders of Matt Hardy were off the mat.
Matt Hardy never lifted his shoulder.
Oh, Mike Chioda is a very competent referee. He was the referee in the main event match at WrestleMania 15 this year. Handpicked by Commissioner Shawn Michaels.
Is Public Enemy not wanted in the WWF?
Again, you know, Terry, we've made this argument before. I don't know. Oh, man, nobody home.
Flyboy Rocco misses by a mile. Johnny Grunge misses also. Matt Hardy desperately needs to tag in his brother Jeff. Tag is made. Jeff Hardy comes in. Beautiful drop kick on Johnny Grunge. Sends him to the outside. Down goes Flyboy Rocco. Punch out! Incredible athleticism by Jeff Hardy. Please follow it up.
Jeff going to the top once again. Flyboy center of the ring. Oh, gosh! The attempted Hurricane Rana turned into a powerbomb by the Flyboy.
This has got to be the end. I cannot believe what I've seen. I think Public Enemy is what you said. Jeff Hardy all the way clearing the table. Public Enemy right now is making a statement. They are tired of being singled out. They are going to make a name, and they're going to earn some respect right here at Jeff Hardy's expense. Rocco, down.
Well, wait a minute now.
I think Matt Hardy, in a desperation move, tried to save his brother Jeff. Well, he did not work.
Certainly did, and referee Mike was in the way.
Unbelievable. Jeff Hardy driven through the table. Matt Hardy over the top on front. Both teams pulling out all stops.
The Hardy Boys!
Hardy Boys get the victory via disqualification. We will talk more about The Undertaker. Is The Undertaker going too far? We'll talk more about it later on, and we'll show you highlights from Raw from this past week.
Jim, next Sunday night, pay-per-view Backlash. Shamrock can end this thing once and for all when he meets The Undertaker.
That's right, and there's going to be some bad blood all the way around. You know, if Ken Shamrock had stayed with the corporation, he may have had some backup in that incident with the ministry. But Ken Shamrock is his own man. He wasn't going to let anybody else call his shots, and he showed his loyalty to Mr. McMahon.
Of the Brood, a rebellion against the ministry this past week, and it all began a few weeks ago when Christian gave up the whereabouts of Stephanie McMahon in that ankle lock from Ken Shamrock.
But you know, when you got a guy like Ken Shamrock with a torturous hold like the ankle lock submission on you, you're going to give up a secret. Christian made one mistake, but The Undertaker continued not only to punish Christian himself, but then demanded that Edge and Gangrel punish Christian as well. Edge is Christian's brother. That wasn't going to take place, and in my opinion, being in a group has suppressed the careers of these three remarkable young athletes. The Brood, I think, better off out of the ministry, and certainly the ministry not weakened at all as we saw earlier without the Brood.
And I was going to say, what are going to be the ramifications of this rebellion? Number one, for the Brood, how is The Undertaker going to get back at Edge, Gangrel, and Christian? And number two, is the ministry any weaker without the Brood in it?
I don't think so, and I also believe that while The Undertaker will seek revenge, as he always does for any wrong that's done to him, the Brood, more than capable with their unity and their ability, more than capable of meeting the task. And hey, if you want to run with the big dog, folks, you got to get up off the porch, and this is the chance for the Brood to run with the big dog.
Edge and Jeff Hardy now to start off this tag team matchup. You were talking about Ken Shamrock deciding to align himself with Mr. McMahon as opposed to Shane. Well, Shane McMahon will not let bygones be got. Look at this now. And Edge kicks out. Shane will not let bygones be bygones. Tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat, Shane McMahon ordering Ken Shamrock into a handicap match against the big boss man and test of the corporation.
Well, Shane McMahon is going to find out something that maybe his corporate environment hadn't taught him, and that's that pride and honor and loyalty mean a lot to a guy like Ken Shamrock. Maybe those are qualities that Shane McMahon doesn't possess and doesn't value, but they do mean a lot to the world's most dangerous man. And what a right hand by Christian. This match is really cooking.
Christian now lifts Jeff Hardy up on his shoulders. Look at this, slams him down. Gut wrencher into the knee that time. And Jeff Hardy's in trouble. Christian hooks the leg. Could be a win here and a kick out.
We've talked so many times about the innovative maneuvers of the Brood. Christian, Edge, and Gangrel, three of the young superstars in this profession. The World Wrestling Federation is the place to see the youth. These guys get to the top on ability, not reputation, and the Hardys coming up with a few new tricks of their own.
A blind tag by Matt Hardy, taking control now of Christian. Sunday Night Heat, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6 Central on USA. We're going to show you that interview between Jim Ross and The Rock, and what an interesting interview it is.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if I was The Rock and I'd thrown Steve Austin off a bridge, I believe I'd lock myself up in Fort Knox. Wait a minute, Gangrel and Christian, so similar in appearance, just made a switch outside the ring.
Yeah, referee's back was turned. Nice suplex by Gangrel, and in effect, it's Brood 3, Hardy Boys 2, a 3-on-2 here, and what a tackle by Edge.
Edge just took Jeff Hardy out of his boots. It is 3-on-2, the remarkable teamwork and the quickness of the Brood coming to the front here as Gangrel and Christian switch places. They're so similar, referee Teddy Long has not even noticed.
Edge whipped into the ropes now. Matt Hardy now retaliates, grabs Edge from outside the ring, Edge with a right hand of his own. Look out now. Hardy off the rope, and Jeff Hardy baseball flying into Edge.
Edge down on the ground in the middle of all that confetti, and the Hardys once again showing that they are not only resilient, but they're very resourceful because they were able to make adversity work for them in that situation.
Tremendous tag team action. We'll get some tag team action tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat. Shane McMahon ordering X-Pac and Kane, the unlikely tag team champions, to defend against The Rock and Triple H.
Well, I got wait a minute.
Covered by Matt Hardy. And Edge just gets the shoulder up.
I'll tell you what, even after that double team, this kid Edge had the ability to kick out. He knew where he was and that he has to turn over and get a tag. I feel bad. I have bad feelings about that tag team championship match, not only with The Rock being involved because of what Steve Austin may do at any point to The Rock if he makes a public appearance, but also what does Shane McMahon have up his sleeve in ordering a match like that?
Oh, Matt Hardy grabs the hair of Edge. Oh, there's the leg drop across the chin.
Boy, I'll tell you what, these kids, the Hardys, know that a victory over the Brood here would be a tremendous upset and a chance for them to prosper here in the World Wrestling Federation, and they're giving it their all.
And who are the #1 contenders in the WWF Tag Team scene? That'll be decided in a week at Backlash. Jeff Hardy now, top rope, somersault, caught Edge.
What a swan dive, no room for error there, and count of 2 and no. Christian, he makes that save.
At Backlash, Owen, Hart, and Jeff Jarrett will meet the New Age Outlaws to determine the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And Edge now slammed into the turnbuckle.
Have you noticed Christian and Gangrel have switched places again? These guys are just at will, almost tagging in back in, well, not even tagging, they're not in the match. What am I saying? I'm confused.
Jeff Hardy just drew Christian into the ring, allowing the Hardy Boys to double team Edge with the referee's back turned.
Well, Edge has been taking some punishment for the better part of the past 2 or 3 minutes now. Cover again.
And a kick out after 2.
Edge had the presence of mind to kick out of that top spread, and now it looks like he's going to have to make a tag to one of his partners, whether it be Gangrel or Christian, to get some respite from this attack.
Edge now right hand to the gut, right hand to the chin, and Edge now trying to battle back, and Jeff Hardy quickly back on top of him.
Boy, these kids, once again, giving it everything they've got, and I'm surprised at the Hardys' offense in this situation. I think that the Brood may be preoccupied with the situation with the Ministry, the situation with The Undertaker. Maybe they have a little bit too much on their mind, and they were looking past Matt and Jeff Hardy, who are nobody's trial horses.
It's got to be hard for the Brood to concentrate, always looking over their shoulder, wondering if The Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness are going to make another move. Shinlock now on Edge.
And you know it's coming. You know these lights could go out at any moment, because The Undertaker has never been a man or an individual to let somebody else get the last word in on him.
Edge now battling back, shot to the gut, another one to Matt Hardy. Edge now off the rope to Matt Hardy with a knee to the midsection. The Hardy Boys continue to stay on top of Edge.
Yeah, these Hardys, what a success story. 23 and 20 years old, respectively, I believe, and they are in the big time now, and they're making the most of it. Edge lands on his feet, double Russian leg sweep.
And Gangrel nods approval as he looks on. And Edge now trying to make a tag to Christian. He's taking a tremendous amount of punishment here. He needs to get to his corner.
If he can make this tag to Christian, who's the fresh man, he'll get the respite he needs, and that's it. And Christian is in the ring, fist and fire.
Right hand to Matt, right hand to Jeff. Christian outstanding drop kick. Jeff Hardy in trouble. Christian slams him down middle of the ring. And now Edge, all 4 men in the ring.
Christian was a one-man gang there, but he took a blind shot there from Jeff Hardy, and Hardy now through the ropes. Oh, my God! Good night! He went through the ropes like a cannonball, and Gangrel threw into the floor.
And here's Edge now. Matt Hardy in trouble. There's the downward spiral. And now the double team by the Brood. Look at this. Tremendous athletic ability. Hook of the leg. This one's over. The Brood defeat the Hardy Boys.
And can you believe this finishing maneuver? With authority, the Brood, Edge, Gangrel, and Christian. Tremendous outcome of that match. The Hardys gave it everything they had, but it wasn't.
The following 3-team tag match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 429 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
We are hours away from Backlash, live tomorrow night exclusively on pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Michael Cole, James E. Cornette at ringside. Whetting your appetite with a 3-team tag match.
At a combined weight of 431 pounds, two sexy Brian Christopher, not too hot hammer, too much.
And Michael, you know something? It is a Backlash place last Monday night on a lot of people's part. We're going to talk about that in this hour, but you got to think that one backlash is going to come from that brand new Lincoln Continental that now looks more like a pancake from the Waffle House.
The Rock having his brand new Lincoln Continental destroyed by Stone Cold in the monster truck. We're going to show you that footage, tell you about that story, all within the hour.
Can't see that enough.
Of 608 pounds, H-Bowman Skull, the disabled Untuckable.
So it's DOA, too much in the Hardy Boys. And taking a look at this on the surface, Jim, it looks like it could be a handicap match. DOA, the bodyguards for too much.
That's right, but we saw not too long ago right here on Shotgun Saturday Night that DOA, when instigated, when provoked, will turn around and tell those two little mullets, hey, pal, we're the bosses.
Backlash tomorrow night live on pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Call your local cable company or home satellite provider right now to subscribe. And the world is talking about the main event. The rematch from WrestleMania. The Rock versus Stone Cold for the title, but Shane McMahon, the special guest referee, could very well be the wild card.
Oh, he's a variable, no doubt about it, because you never know what's going to happen when one man has the referee in his pocket. And to me, on the surface of things, that's exactly what's going on. Shane McMahon's entire mission in life is to keep Steve Austin down, to take that belt from his waist, to take that title off of him, and any way he has to do it, he's going to do it.
Scott Taylor now going to work on Matt Hardy to kick things off in this matchup. You can tag any man you want. You don't have to tag your partner. Taylor now off the ropes, leaps up over top of Matt Hardy. There's the leapfrog again. Went for the right hand, and Matt Hardy with a nice counter.
Whoa, and Scott Taylor with a nice counter to the counter, and he doesn't capitalize. And Matt Hardy, bright enough to know where he is, and a spinning neck breaker takes Scott Taylor down.
The Hardy Boys, tremendous young athletes, and you're going to see plenty of athletes at Backlash tomorrow night. Scott Taylor now. Matt Hardy makes him pay for it.
Scott Taylor tried that up and over the ankle scissors, and it backfired on him in a very precarious way.
Matt Hardy now as Brian Christopher comes into the ring and verdict atomic drop, and Christopher hits Taylor right in the chin, and now Jeff Hardy climbing high, top rope drop kick.
Jeff Hardy, this 21-year-old kid from North Carolina, will take every risk he has to take, and now the complexion, the tone, and the pace of this match is going to change drastically because the big men are in. It's going to go from speed to strength.
You were talking earlier on about Shane McMahon. Shane, of course, running things there in the WWF, flexing his muscles once again tomorrow night, live on Sunday Night Heat. 7 o'clock, 6 Central on USA, live the hour before Backlash. Shane has set up a match for Heat between Kane and the Big Boss Man.
Well, Shane is on a power trip, and it's unlimited power, so it's an unlimited trip. When he is basically running things for the corporation, calling the shots, he's got exactly the position that he's always wanted in life, but he had to slap his own father in the face to do it.
And this is interesting now. Brian Christopher talking with DOA. Remember, these guys are supposed to be friends, and DOA is tossing too much around the ring.
Well, DOA, I think, just made the point that they're not going to let anybody shove them around, and they wouldn't give a cripple crab a crutch as far as giving away a wrestling match. But right now, Jeff Hardy makes a very serious miscalculation.
Brian Christopher now in control of Jeff Hardy.
And I'll tell you, Michael, something else, this Undertaker situation with Ken Shamrock. Taker and Shamrock meet head up at Backlash tomorrow night. And the Undertaker has basically not only been terrorizing the McMahon family, which we'll see more of, but he has also gotten into Ken Shamrock's family business. And that is a dangerous place to be.
An update on Ryan Shamrock. Ryan Shamrock was in the hotel where The Undertaker said she was this past week. Ken Shamrock found her. Ryan was okay, but all the things that The Undertaker had said about Ryan were true. So The Undertaker's psychological warfare, not only focusing on Mr. McMahon and Stephanie, but now on Ken Shamrock, who showed his loyalty to Vince McMahon.
Well, can you imagine? Oh, wait a minute. Beautiful flapjack on Jeff Hardy. Can you imagine what a man must feel like when he finds out that his His young sister is in a hotel room alone, and a man like The Undertaker in his ministry knows where she is. It was all a mind game by The Undertaker, but there was no way for Shamrock to know that.
And Ken Shamrock focusing on The Undertaker. He came with an equalizer to the ring this past week, a baseball bat. What's he going to bring with him at Backlash tomorrow night? Can you imagine if Shamrock locks in the ankle lock on the Phenom at Backlash?
I think it's gone a lot further than a wrestling hold. He brought that Tennessee toothpick, that Louisville slugger, and whoa! Brian Christopher, nobody home, and it looks like the Christopher family lineage may stop right there. Can you imagine the world's most dangerous man with a baseball bat in his hand? He did some damage. He'll do even more with The Undertaker tomorrow night.
Matt Hardy now hammering away, gaining some momentum. Christopher whipped off the ropes. There's the big back body drop, and the Hardy Boys looking for a huge upset here. Not only would they defeat Too Much, but DOA as well. But Matt Hardy telegraphed that one, Jim, and Christopher counters with a powerbomb.
Sit out. He dropped his head too soon going for that backdrop, and Brian Christopher quick enough and smart enough to capitalize. And now Too Much looks like they're signaling they want to take this one to the park.
Christopher top rope. If he connects here with the Tennessee Jam, this one is over. Christopher top rope. Look out.
Whoa!
Caught him.
He got him.
This one's over, folks. Here's the cover. There's two. But
No.
DOA.
Wait a minute. There's a surprise. Whoa, a DOA. I'll tell you, when you're around Too Much enough, you know they're an irritating couple of guys, and I think DOA has had enough.
Keep in mind, Matt Hardy and Brian Christopher, still the legal man, as Jeff Hardy goes sailing over the top rope.
Back first, he had to be 10 feet in the air.
Here's Christopher now. Runs into DOA. Hardy pulls him over, wraps him up. And the Hardy Boys pull off a huge upset.
He did it!
Here are your winners, the Hardy Boys!
Matt and Jeff Hardy, these two kids with the fighting heart, they never give up, and they have won this match over Too Much and DOA.
Back on Shotgun Saturday Night. And here come the Hardy Boys. Matt and Jeff set for tag team action.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Kenwood, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 429 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys, set to take on Julio Sanchez and Russ Greenberg as we get ready, Jim, for live Sunday Night Heat tomorrow night from Jacksonville, Florida. And what in the world is The Rock, broken arm and all, going to have to say about what happened this past Monday night?
And if I was The Rock, I would be very careful, because you know what they say about a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest? Well, a one-armed man on Sunday Night Heat, when the corporate ministry is around, is not a very good idea either, Michael.
Stone Cold Steve Austin suffering bruised ribs when he was tossed off the stage, but he's going to be okay. And speaking of the rattlesnake, Stone Cold's back on Nash Bridges this Friday night on CBS, 10 Eastern and Pacific. This is Austin's second appearance on the show, the first time Nash Bridges had record ratings.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's everywhere. Jeez, look at Jeff Hardy. I thought he was trying to commit suicide there. He just jumped that high over the top rope. Stone Cold Steve Austin is everywhere, but you know that his heart is going to be in the middle of that ring tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat. And then again at Over the Edge when he attempts to... Wait a minute, Julio Sanchez starting out quick when he attempts to get even with the corporate ministry for that attack and assault on his persona.
You talked about where hearts are lying. Well, where does the heart of Deborah and Val Venus lie after what we saw this past Monday night on Raw?
I think there's some sparks going on there between the big Valboski and the prize-winning puppies. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Jarrett doesn't end up, well, sitting on ice someplace.
Well, it was supposed to have been Sable versus Deborah in an evening gown match. Sable said she was too busy doing another Playboy shoot. She sent in her body double.
God.
Oh, my, Julio Sanchez. And there's the cover to kick out.
Can you believe that? I was about to say these Hardy Boys, it's been tremendous watching them develop over the past few months as high flyers here in the World Wrestling Federation. But Julio Sanchez is a kid that could surprise everybody. He's put together, he looks good, he's got the experience, and he's got the desire.
And now it's Matt Hardy and Russ Greenberg. Sable, we had said, was supposed to be in that evening gown match. She sent in her so-called stunt double, her body double, Nicole Bass, to take on Deborah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Nicole Bass is only a double for Sable if you're Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder, and there is no way on earth that a normal woman is going to compete with Nicole Bass in any kind of physical encounter.
Nicole Basto felt the wrath of the guitar from Jeff Jarrett. Look at that tremendous maneuver. But Jeff Hardy did not go for the cover there.
And that's a rookie mistake, but you got to remember, Matt Hardy only 23 years of age, Jeff Hardy only 20, both of them. 4-year veterans as professionals, and you have got to think they're only getting better. We've seen the improvement in the last few months, and the Hardys really starting to get not only a following, but confidence in that ring.
Confidence enough to wear purple hair, I guess, as Jeff Hardy now hammers away on Julio Sanchez.
Well, you know these kids these days. But baseball slide out, avoid hitting the ropes, and now another baseball slide, and good Lord, these guys they're moving like whale blubber at an ice floe.
Incoming, Matt Hardy.
Double clothesline from the top rope. Matt Hardy with a high-risk maneuver, and it could have been all or nothing, and fortunately for Matt, it was all, and he set it up. Jeez!
Jeff Hardy over the top rope.
Cannonballed like he was going into a swimming pool to Jeff Hardy. These kids will put their bodies on the line every time you see them.
Hardy Boys, tremendous athletes, tremendous tag team, and now Jeff Hardy in control of Julio Sanchez. What action here on Shotgun Saturday Night. Action's only going to heat up tomorrow night on Sunday Night Heat live from Jacksonville. Road Dogg and Triple H in action. That's going to be a good one.
Well, like we said, the battle of former DX members, and good Lord, that was a pancake and flip-flop. Gone for the cover.
And a kick out after 2.
Julio Sanchez not ready to give it up yet. The battle of former DX members, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what X-Pac thinks of the whole thing, because if you notice that every time a person defects from DX, generally he's the one that gets spat on the way out.
Yeah, X-Pac has been, his friends turn his back on him twice in the last month. It was Triple H at WrestleMania in China, for that matter. And then, of course, Billy Gunn just last week on Sunday Night Heat.
But I'll tell you this, X-Pac has a big brother to come to his rescue whenever he is outnumbered and needs a helping hand, and that's Kane, who has repaid the favor that X-Pac has showed the Big Red Machine by befriending him, back sort of keeping an eye on X-Pac and watching his back when he gets a 2-on-1 situation.
And here's Matt Hardy now. Tremendous maneuver on Julio Sanchez. As Russ Greenberg, Sanchez's partner, looks on. That's who Sanchez needs to make a tag to here. Second rope for Matt Hardy. Delivers the elbow to the sternum. But again, taking his time, going for a cover, Jim.
And that, once again, is a mistake that maybe overconfidence that a young man will make. He needs to go for the cover at every opportunity, because Julio Sanchez, as he applies the sleeper, has shown that he is a capable opponent, and Julio could score an upset.
And Matt Hardy now with a sleeper of his own. It just drops Sanchez on his head. Here's a cover now, and Greenberg makes the save.
Greenberg looks like he's one of the American Gladiators or something, for heaven's sake. Greenberg is a licensed real estate agent when he's not wrestling in it. It looks like the Hardys may want to give him a couple of acres.
Julio Sanchez with a swinging neck breaker. And now Sanchez desperately tries to make a tag. And he does. And here comes Greenberg. Momentum shifting here. Greenberg hammering away on Matt Hardy. Standing drop kick to snap Hardy off his feet.
Greenberg is cooking, and there's a clothesline. Greenberg, the fresh man, trying to make the most of the opportunity, and he's got the size on both the Hardys. Going to the top. This is Hardy Boys territory.
Press Greenberg high. There's the crossbody into the lateral press. Hook of the leg. Jeff Hardy makes the save.
Jeff Hardy came right down on Russ Greenberg's the back of his head, and now Matt swinging wild hits him there. He hits him another one in the back of the head, and Greenberg has effectively been derailed. He was on the express line there for a minute, but the Hardy Boys, once again, the teamwork too much.
Yeah, the express line is ended because the Hardy Boys are in total control right now. Here's the double team. Tremendous suplex by Matt and Jeff Hardy. And look out, we've seen this one before, Jim.
I've never seen any tag team, but the Hardys execute this maneuver from opposite top turnbuckles. They come with the leg and the splash, and that should be it for Russ Greenberg.
And it is. The Hardy Boys pick up the win over Sanchez and Greenberg.
Here are your winners, the Hardy Boys.
Well, you got to say that it was a heck of a contest, and once again, it could have gone either way, especially with Julio Sanchez, but the Hardy Boys come out on top.
We're not through yet. Stick around. We're coming back.
So the golden couple is born as Jeff Jarrett becomes the Intercontinental Champion, joining Deborah in the title ranks. She's the women's champion.
I thought that was a segue. It was beautiful. Golden couple, golden champion to gold, and Goldust.
A moving tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 593 pounds, the Blue Meanie
Goldust.
Mommy. One of the more dysfunctional units in the World Wrestling Federation.
Don't pick on us. We're working on it.
Goldust, not you and I. Goldust and the Blue Meanie. Getting set for tag team action against the Hardy Boys. We will see Matt and Jeff being led by Michael Hayes.
Didn't he used to be Doc Hendricks? You've been loving Doc Hendricks?
That's right. And a long time ago, he was Michael Hayes, one of the toughest men in and around these rings. A guy you know very well, Terry.
Yeah, he hit me so hard it bruised my grandchildren.
Well, Michael Hayes saw a lot of promise in the Hardy Boys, and they have certainly benefited from his experience.
Great point, Kevin. Michael Hayes was never a great tactician. He was very, very tough. He had a scintillating left hand. We would look for the right. He'd hit us with the left. But the thing that he brings to the table more than anybody else is motivation. He gets the most out of the people around him.
Their opponent, to be accompanied to the ring by Michael Hayes from Kurrgan, North Carolina, weighing 229 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
You talk about great leaders, and when his players hit the field, they are ready to fight. Vince Lombardi always had that reputation, and it looks as if Michael Hayes is establishing that reputation as well, as the Hardy Boys come out here and actually jump Goldust and the Blue Meanie.
You can see that there's direction, there's focus, they've channeled, and I'm talking about the Hardy. Oh, man, could it be over this quick?
No, they just like to punish now. Now it seems there's punishment behind all of their high-impact maneuvers. The standing moonsault, just a 2 count before the Blue Meanie gets a leg out, and it really appears to me, Terry, that Goldust and the Meanie don't even know what's hit him.
I think they may have underestimated, and I'm talking about Goldust and Blue Meanie, these new, focused, and improved Hardy Boys. Beautiful maneuvers that are tag team, attacking both parts of the body at the same time, to high and low.
Michael Hayes barking out orders. Folks, in just a little while, we're going to revisit Raw. We'll show you what happened when Stone Cold Steve Austin battled The Undertaker for the WWF title, and he was introduced to the greater power.
See?
Oh, man, Meanie with the counter.
Yeah, Kevin, who would have ever thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin's title destiny would have been in the hands of Vince McMahon?
Boy, Vince McMahon, really, did he ever think he would defeat The Undertaker?
I don't think that was the point. After what The Undertaker did as far as poisoning Shane McMahon's mind, taking, abducting Stephanie McMahon, I think Vince McMahon, quote a phrase, wanted to get some.
Well, he won the match against The Undertaker by disqualification. He basically goaded The Undertaker into casting the referee aside. Referee Mike Chioda had no choice but to DQ The Undertaker, and Stone Cold earned a title opportunity, which we'll show you later on. Oh, man! Elevation from the Hardy Boys.
6 months ago, would you ever said that you think that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon would have been fighting the same battle?
Absolutely not. And you have to wonder now what Stone Cold Steve Austin's mindset is following his meeting with the greater power. After we show you the highlights from Raw, folks, we'll talk all about it. Who is the greater power is the most asked question in and around the WWF. And Terry, I know neither you nor I know the answer to the question.
No, we don't. The only person that does is Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like you said, he isn't saying anything.
Great counter by Jeff Hardy. You can really see how Michael Hayes is paying dividends to the Hardy Boys. The tag is made once again. And Matt now coming in, stomping away. A mean streak is developed. We saw the Brood, Terry. We saw the Brood a little earlier on. You have to wonder with the Brood now and the Hardy Boys, is maybe Michael Hayes outside with the eyes in the back of his head waiting for a possible attack.
Well, maybe he is. Michael Hayes has done nothing but good things for the Hardy Boys. And both these two guys, I'm talking Matt Hardy, the grizzled veteran at 24 years old.
Oh, wait a minute.
Barely kicked out there by Goldust. These two young kids, 21 or 22 years old, 24, the Hardy Boys are going to be in the WWF for a long, long time.
We also have a medical update on Mankind. Mick Foley suffered a shattered kneecap at the hands of Triple H, one of the most heinous acts ever seen in the WWF. And we certainly want to wish Mick a speedy recovery on the injured list. We understand, Terry, his status right now up in the air, indefinitely out.
Yeah, well, when you have a sledgehammer meet your kneecap, something's going to give, and it's always going to be the bones.
Folks, this tag team match at a turning point. We've got to take a break. Shotgun continues. We are back on Shotgun. Goldust now on the second rope. Jeff Hardy going to the top strand. Is he going to try this maneuver? I can't believe it. Oh! Goldust just drops Jeff Hardy square in his head.
If Jeff Hardy would have tucked his head just a little bit, he'd have fallen right on his head. I don't know what that had done to his neck.
Oh, man.
Makes a smart move and tags in Matt Hardy, who I think is taking a little revenge for what almost happened to his brother.
Matt Hardy now sends Goldust across. Goldust, face first goes Matt Hardy. Goldust needs to make a tag. The blue meanie, fresh on the apron, looking to get in.
Boy, that's a move right there. Goldust just did to Matt Hardy. He learns quickly, and I'm talking about Goldust because Jeff Hardy did that to Goldust earlier in the match.
Jeff Hardy, you can still see, suffering the effects of earlier on. The blue meanie, he's tagged in. Fresh as a daisy. The blue meanie attacking both members of the Hardy Boys.
Fresh as a daisy, blue meanie.
He's a peach.
He's shaped like one.
Up and over the top goes Matt. Wait a second. Boots to the midsection. Meanie now. The meanie bomb. Meanie bomb. Center of the ring. Doesn't go for the cover.
Who's the legal man, Kevin? Who's the legal man?
Meanie raising the roof. Raising Jeff Hardy. Tries the meanie bomb again. Wait a minute. Goldust, Michael Hayes getting into it. Just like that. Jeff Hardy. The counter. Center of the ring. 2, and this one is over. A team effort, if you will. The Hardy Boys victorious here on Shotgun. Folks, we've got a huge announcement about Raw this Monday, plus we're going to talk a whole lot more about the King of the Ring. Welcome back. We're getting set to see the Hardy Boys take on Mideon and Viscera.
It's scheduled for one fall. Introduce the first, according to the ring by Michael Hayes from Kurrgan, North Carolina, at a combined weight of 430 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
Terry, it's not just a new look, it's a new attitude, courtesy of Michael Hayes. The Hardy Boys improved drastically as of late.
Yes, they have. And we got a lot of things to talk about with the reveal of the greater power and also Jeff Jarrett's involvement with Shamrock.
Yeah, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye.
Representing the corporate ministry at a combined weight of 811 pounds, Mideon and Viscera.
The biggest tag team in the WWF, Mideon and Viscera, representing the corporate ministry, getting set to take on the Hardy Boys. And certainly, what about Ken Shamrock, another innocent victim of Vince McMahon's reign of terror in attempting to take down Stone Cold Steve Austin?
It's quite obvious Mr. McMahon will mow over anybody to get back at Stone Cold Steve Austin, using his daughter Stephanie, his wife Linda, everybody in between. Shamrock was the only person loyal to Vince McMahon and went into that boiler room to get Stephanie out.
After The Undertaker, we thought had kidnapped her. But folks, it was Vince McMahon all along who contrived this whole plot to get Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what Vince was telling us as he stood there in the ring last Monday in the Greater Powers robe. It was amazing to me. And when the look on Vince's face, though, when Linda and Stephanie came out to the ring, when they came out to the stage, Terry, I mean, really, that was the last thing that Vince and Shane ever expected.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's no dummy. He looked into the eyes of the greater power a couple weeks ago. He saw who was under that hood. He went right to the wife. I mean, if you talk about greater power, we're married. He went right to Linda McMahon, told Linda what was going on. Linda, with that maternal instinct, turned up the notch. She went right to work Stone Cold. Linda and Stephanie made a plan. We have a new CEO.
Yeah, we certainly do. It appears that Vince and Shane, for all their plotting and scheming to take down Stone Cold Steve Austin, had covered all of the bases except for home plate. Mideon reaching over the top and pounding away on Matt Hardy as this tag team contest gets started. Of course, the Acolytes, also part of the corporate ministry, are the new tag team champions, but they are going to have their hands full with a lot of teams gunning for them.
Yeah, you know, incredible resurgence by the Hardy Boys. Oh, beautiful running neck breaker by Matt Hardy. Could be over this quick. 1, 2.
Wow.
Too much power in Mideon. But you think about it. Speed, movement, finesse, youth, exuberance, Hardys, and then you have these two killers in Mideon and Viscera, who is 500 pounds.
Oh, wow.
The longer this match goes, I think it's better it is for the Hardy Boys.
Now, Jeff Hardy's the legal man. Referee Chip Corderis just gets to 2. Had to pause a second to get Matt Hardy out of the ring. That could have slowed down what might have been an eventual pinfall. But let's speculate for a second, if we can, Terry, on a potential relationship between Vince McMahon and Jeff Jarrett. I mean, did it seem ironic to you that Jeff was there, chair in hand, right place, right time? Oh! Ho, ho!
Talk about right place, right time. Poor Jeff Hardy missed that twisting moonsault. which probably hurt him almost as much as that chair shot to the face from Jeff Jarrett to Shamrock. Shamrock is going to be so motivated, I'd hate to be Mr. McMahon or Jeff Jarrett when he finally gets his hands on either one.
800+ pounds of an elbow drop. Viscera.
How could anybody kick out from that?
Well, they couldn't. It took Matt Hardy to come in to make the save. You got a feeling, though, that Ken Shamrock is going to be running on all cylinders looking for revenge.
Yeah, he is the world's most dangerous man. The intensity in his eyes, Shamrock just cannot turn off what's in him, and I am fearful what's going to happen to Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Hardy's attempted drop kick on Viscera merely backs up the 500+ pounder a couple of steps. Boy, misses with the clothesline. Jeff giving it all he can. Crucifix attempt, Terry.
There's a mouse on the back of an elephant.
Oh, gosh! Not anymore. I would say, Terry, that this one is about over.
I'd have to say you're right. If Jeff Hardy's got a breath left in his body, I couldn't hardly believe it.
All the wind driven out of his sails. Viscera, instead of a cover, looking to add more punishment. Folks, Stone Cold Steve Austin's first official day on the job as CEO in the office of Titan Tower will be this Monday. We'll have cameras there to document Stone Cold getting settled into his new position. You'll see that on Raw this Monday. But Terry, Stone Cold's already wielding his power, making 2 tag team matches for this Sunday on Heat. It could have a direct effect on the King of the Ring.
Yeah, I mean, Big Show and Hardcore Holly are partners who've never been partners against X-Pac and Kane.
Look at this full twisting vertical suplex. Mideon, incredible maneuver, and now the cover, lateral press, didn't hook the leg though, and Jeff Hardy finds a way to kick out.
Unbelievable. Also, Billy Gunn and China tag up versus Road Dogg and Ken Shamrock.
Wow, it is going to be volatile, you know, when Sunday Night Heat kicks off at 7/6 Central this Sunday on USA. Mideon now toying with Jeff Hardy. I think Mideon and Viscera could be wasting it.
Oh!
Well, maybe not wasting.
That's not a headbutt, is it?
Simply distracting the referee for a few seconds. Mideon and Viscera are enjoying the punishment they are doling out on Jeff Hardy. Folks, this match Mideon. Jeff Hardy, look at this.
That Jeff Hardy is one of the greatest young risk takers I've ever seen.
Oh, Michael Hayes getting involved.
Wow.
Utilizing the numbers advantage. Now the Hardy boys, the double backdrop on Mideon.
Boy, Mideon out over the top. Hardy boys turn. Ow! Yahtzee!
The only way to counteract the weight differential is to double team, but Viscera quickly neutralized both Jeff and Matt with one double clothesline.
Viscera outweighs both Hardy boys himself by 75 pounds.
That is amazing if you think about it. Michael Hayes expertly pushing Matt Hardy out of the way. Oh, wow.
Ow! You heard that one? I hope Michael Hayes didn't hurt his hand.
Oh, man. And now Michael Hayes just threw his cane in. Referee Jim Cornelius finally saw something in this match. It was the cane across Viscera's shoulders.
Good gosh! What a fabulous move by Jeff Hardy. How does he get up after those things? He's young and doesn't know any better.
As a result of a disqualification, Viscera and Mideon.
Michael Hayes has brought the Hardy boys the intensity that they needed. Their rivalry with the Brood continues, and now it looks like they're going to have an issue with Mideon and Viscera.
And what kind of issue is The Undertaker going to have with Mideon and Viscera when they come back? Because The Undertaker will not tolerate failure.
Anything less than utter destruction in The Undertaker's eyes is viewed as failure. The Undertaker's issue with The Big Show found the WWF champion taking a choke slam to hell. This.
So what you gonna do?
Tag team action next year on Shotgun. There's Mark Henry along with D'Lo Brown set to take on the Hardy boys. Last Monday on Raw, Terry, Mark Henry asked for it. He got it. Gorilla Slam press match with Viscera.
It's unbelievable. Mark Henry, 400 pounds. Viscera, 500 pounds. Viscera gets underneath Mark Henry. Henry on his shoulder. Should have separated that shoulder. But here comes D'Lo Brown as the good partner. Shot to the stomach. Unbelievable. Double slam. Back down goes Viscera. Yahtzee!
Later on, then Mideon ran on and attacked both D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry with a belt. That belt turned out to be the European title, Terry, that he borrowed from Shane McMahon earlier that night.
Shane, can I borrow a belt? Any belt? I forgot mine. Go ahead, I don't care. Shane did not know it was the European title.
From Cameron, North Carolina, and a combined weight of 430 pounds, Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
The experience and the tenacity of Michael Hayes has brought about a renaissance of the Hardy Boys. Terry, the Hardy Boys enter this contest giving up a tremendous amount of size to D'Lo and Mark Henry. Is that size differential too much for the Hardy Boys to overcome?
Of course, we have to factor in the size. We don't know if that differential will be too much, but I think the thing that will make the difference, the factor will be Michael Hayes, 3-on-2.
Well, certainly Michael Hayes has not been shy about getting physically involved in Hardy Boys matches as of late. As a matter of fact, last week here on Shotgun, we saw the Hardy Boys lose a match via disqualification to Mideon and Viscera, who certainly could become a factor in this contest if they wish to renew their rivalry with D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. We understand both Mideon and Viscera very upset that Viscera was double-team press slam off the top rope last Monday night on Raw, as we showed you just a few moments ago.
Yeah, look at the offense here by the Hardy Boys. That's a trick taught to them by Michael Hayes. Get your opponent in your own corner. D'Lo too strong and too smart.
D'Lo now reversing the Irish whip. Wait a second now. Big tackle, puts down Matt Hardy. Now D'Lo across, ducks the clothesline and lands a jumping spin kick, able to flatten both Matt and Jeff Hardy. Wow.
D'Lo Brown losing over 100 pounds to get this kind of agility and is still 270 pounds.
Leg drop across the throat. Very quick offense, of course, as we showed you a little earlier on. The Undertaker with an emphatic tombstone on the Rock. The People's Champ would get his revenge later on the night. We'll show you that a little later on in the hour. Mark Henry in the ring.
Oh! Boy, these two are lighting each other up with live rounds. Mark Henry double top and what a leg drop. Monday night dropped on his shoulder from the top rope cover.
Wait a minute.
You cannot cover Matt Hardy with just two paws like that.
Mark Henry now head of steam once again, tries the elbow drop, and Matt Hardy slides out of the way. And the tag is made to brother Jeff. Jeff Hardy coming in, trying to bounce some offense, giving up a lot of weight.
Pushing back, Jeff.
Pushing him back, and folks, quick reminder that immediately following Raw is War live this Monday. Join us on the Home Shopping Network for more live WWF Insanity and exclusive WWF merchandise.
You talk about insanity. Look at the insanity by Jeff going back after Mark Henry, who is outweighing Jeff Hardy by over 200 pounds.
That one-arm field just about sent Jeff Hardy into the 8th row. Man, when we get to Raw this Monday, we could have a new WWF champion crowned.
A new CEO and owner of the WWF.
Plus, we'll also know who the 1999 King of the Ring is, and it could be a Queen of the Ring. China's in the field of 8. All that and more this Sunday, live on pay-per-view at King of the Ring. Oh, no, boy. No, don't do it. Jeff Hardy's gonna suplex D'Lo Brown onto the floor. Great counter.
Oh, this Jeff Hardy is almost like a car crash waiting to happen. And look at the resilience of this young man. Oh man, great teamwork by the Hardys. I don't know if Michael Hayes set that up and schooled him. These two just like kamikazes out there diving all over the place.
Man, oh man. Woo!
Scintillating action here by the Hardy Boys on D'Lo Brown.
You got to take another look. Great communication. The nonverbal communication between the Hardy Boys.
Did you hear the slap of D'Lo's head off that ground? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, man. Leg drops high and low. The Hardy Boys, a lot of innovative offense here, and D'Lo Brown is paying for it.
They're punking D'Lo Brown, Matt Hardy is. That's not a good idea.
D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, one of the top contending teams for the tag team title. A victory here by the Hardy Boys. Shoots them right up the ladder. Neck breaker.
That might be what sends them over the top.
Lateral press. Does not hook the leg. And boy, oh boy, Teddy Long, two and a whole bunch before D'Lo Brown is able to kick out. The punishment continuing to mount.
What a match.
The offensive advantage. The Hardy Boys in control. This match continues. Stay with us. Finds a slugfest now developing. D'Lo Brown trying to fight his way over to his tag team partner, Mark Henry. The Hardy Boys just about ready to put D'Lo away. What a sensational maneuver. The powerbomb. Desperation time for D'Lo.
D'Lo calls that the sky high, and he's put many people away with that. But Jeff Hardy has got to be the most resilient superstar in the WWF at 21 years old. He doesn't know how bad that's supposed to hurt.
Matt Hardy now in off the tag. Full slam, center of the ring. What do the Hardy Boys have next? They've thrown the kitchen sink so far at D'Lo Brown. Outside moves up and down across the knees.
Great anticipation by D'Lo Brown. Instead of trying to make the tag, he played there, played possum, and now he may have bought himself enough time to tag in Section Chocolate.
Man, oh man, Mark Henry Henry is chomping at the bit to get in the ring. You hear the crowd starting to get behind D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. Matt makes the tag first to Jeff. D'Lo tags in Mark Henry, and here we go.
Wow! One right hand by the world's strongest man. Tilton World Slam. New move by Mark Henry. Walked right through the clothesline by Matt Hardy, and a belly-to-back suplex by Sexual Chocolate. New offense from the big man.
The world's strongest man looks like with a moment of indecision now.
Got you kind of hope that kind of mistake doesn't cost this team.
And now the tag is made. Looks like D'Lo shouted out to make the tag. D'Lo fresh out of the corner. The lowdown.
Beautiful teamwork.
Oh!
Is that 3 or 2?
Teddy Long's hand was about to hit the mat for the 3rd time. And oh, wait a minute. Mideon Viscera now.
Boy, how can Sexual Chocolate D'Lo Brown concentrate? Have they not seen the corporate ministry on their way down?
Gorilla
strength!
Gorilla presses now. What's Michael Hayes doing in there? Oh, man!
Boy, Jeff Hardy almost sacrificed himself to catch Michael Hayes. Look at the look on Viscera's face. And after that Gorilla Slam challenge, here comes Mark Henry. They're going toe-to-toe. Viscera and Mark Henry going for it.
A sky high on Jeff Hardy. Mideon now with that European title.
Where's the referee?
And once again, just like last Monday on Raw, Mideon clobbers D'Lo with that European title. Face first to the mat goes Jeff Hardy. D'Lo Brown puts the leg 2-3.
What an upset! Unbelievable upset by the Hardys.
Certainly the assist by Mideon and Viscera as they attempt to put a little bit more heat on D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry.
This has got to be a major stepping stone for the Hardy Boys, no matter how they got it.
European champion by left foot. This situation far from over, but folks still